say, but it's wonderful to be here. I'm Bruce Lasky, one of the directors of Babsicle, one of the co-founders of the event, and one of the founders of this event. Yeah. So we are now going to be entering into the afternoon session of this really amazing event. We had an incredibly great experience this morning where we had the two teams, the prosecution team and the defense team, put on really strong arguments and demonstrate. And now those teams are going to change sides. They're going to flip sides. Can I see everybody do this? Everybody, please, let's just do this. Everybody flip sides, right? And they're going to be changing roles so really, really wonderful. Before we begin, again, I really want to thank all the supporters of this event making this possible. If you go onto the website, there are so many key partners and supporters behind this. It is not just one organization in the development of the materials, the training of everyone, and also in the judging and evaluations and getting the feedback. It's, it is a true example of cross-border collaboration and all of us coming together. So if we can all do this, let's all just show us all coming together. Fantastic. With that, we're going to start this by having the judges of this event introduce themselves, and then the students will introduce themselves, and then they will begin. Everyone else, as we did this morning, please turn off your camera, your videos, but of course you should be paying attention, and of course we know you are, and observing, and we're going to be asking also for feedback later on. So with that, we're going to be turning off our cameras. I'm going to be passing this to Ming Nguyen Kennedy, who's going to be the chief judge of this. It is her first time being the chief judge. She's going to do amazing, and if she needs some help, she's got some great judges with us. Ming, over to you to introduce yourself. And Ming, you're on mute.
Yeah, sorry. Hi, everyone. My name is Ming Nguyen, and currently I am based in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. I have practicing law for almost like 15 years already, and with about 6 years practicing litigation and arbitration. So, and I am also a volunteer for other activity of Babsi CLE in Vietnam for almost like almost 10 years. I am very honored to be here today together with all these esteemed judges and lawyers, and hopefully we will have a very successful mock trial today. Can I hand over the mic to Arnold to introduce himself?
Thanks, Win. Hi, everyone. I'm Arnold. I am from Herbert Smith Freehills, based in Malaysia. I'm in my firm's disputes practice, specializing in mostly construction and infrastructure. But outside of work, I like to help out in these sorts of pro bono and justice work initiatives. The two main ones that I've done, one is with the United Nations High Commissioner of Refugees, where we help representation and assistance. And the second one is sentencing mitigation in the criminal courts here in Malaysia. So this is my first time at Babsicle, unlike Min. I hope I will do well as everyone else. Thank you.
Thank you, Arnold. Can we invite Miriam as the next person, the next judge, to introduce herself?
Thank you, Min. Good afternoon, everyone, and a very good morning, very good early morning from Brussels. My name is Miriam Chinappa, and I am a lawyer as well as an international justice development expert. So I've been working in the field of justice programming since, for over 22 years. And many programs that I have been dealing with included a criminal defense program. So it's really a delight to be here. Yeah, I mean, I've known BAPSICLE work for over 8 years, I think, the pro bono conferences as well as the mock trials. So I'm really delighted to be here. You know, just working with students, you know, law students is one of the most you know, satisfying and, you know, fulfilling things that one can do. So I'm happy just to be here and to support this process.
Thank you, Miriam. And can I now invite Missy Roshni to step forward and introduce yourself to all the participants?
Thank you, Mi, and hello, everyone. I'm from Kathmandu, Nepal. My name is Rosni Paudel. I'm a lawyer, and I also practice law as a lawyer, obviously. And I have been associated with this program, CLE and BAPSICLE, since 2019, I think, and it's been really, really a wonderful to be a part of this BAPSICLE team and with this CLE program, obviously. And I also teach law in the Nepal Law Campus, Tribhuvan University. Yeah, and basically, I have been in practice of law and human rights and justice sectors, and I really would love to be a part of this CLE program as one of the key important interest area of mine as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rosni. And now I would like to invite Missy Jenny Tu, right? So can I do I spell your name right? Yeah, Mrs. Jenny, to introduce, please introduce yourself to the participants.
Yeah, thank you, Ming. So I'm Jenny Tu. I'm the dispute resolution lawyer in Herbert Smith Freehills Shanghai office. So my practice mainly focuses on general litigation in China, and also as well as some international arbitration cases. I was also in the moot court teams back to my college time, and it was indeed the moot court experiences that inspired me to be a dispute resolution lawyer. So I think it was a great pleasure to be here. I mean, to switch the role, from the moot court participants to the judge perspective. And I really hope that this event could also inspire more law school students to pursue their career in the in such field in the future. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. I think your story is a really inspiring story for all the students participating in the mock trial today, because they can look at you as an example, and they can vision that 10 years later they will be in the position like you, right? by the first step of today being participating in this mock trial. And now I would like to invite the last judge in our panel, Missy Chang Ivy, to introduce herself to all the participants.
Good afternoon, everyone. So it's my honor to be one of the judges to join our event today. So my name is Chang, and people call me Ivy as well. And I have, I think I have started to join different activities with CLE since 2009. And look back, it's nearly 15 years until now. And I have great experience, to see the workshop, the event, and then and especially I was so surprised and inspired by the workshop that we just had about the hearing just last month. So I'm looking forward to seeing amazing performance today of both teams. So yeah, great to be here and great to be a part of this journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Ivy. All the judge already introduced ourselves to the participant. So hopefully, because we like volunteer our weekend to be here today to listen to your motion, we hope that you can make the most of it and make this a mock trial become very, very successful one. So may I invite the colleague, the court colleague to come forward and
Maybe just Chief Judge, if you can ask the students just on the prosecution and then the defense and then the clerks to introduce themselves.
I see. Got it. Sorry. So can we start first with the prosecution team? Perhaps I ask like prosecution one.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Andian Ahya. I'm from Indonesia. So currently I pursuing a degree in law at the Faculty of Law at Pasundan University. So right now it's my second year. And today I'm gonna be prosecutions one. And in here I learned many things, kind of arguments or statements, the evidence, of course, the role in the trial. Also, I learned about common law, which different in my country because in here we use civil law. Thank you.
Thank you, Andian. As the next step, I would like to invite prosecutor Chu to introduce yourself. Prosecutor Chu, please.
Good afternoon, judges, and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sapek Days. I'm from Phnom Penh, the Kingdom of Cambodia. I'm attending the Panyasastra University of Cambodia, and this is the beginning of my journey, and this I'm going to play a role as a prosecutor too, and the purpose of this choosing this role is to improve my ability to ask any question and any doubt to the witness, the prosecution witness, and also the defense witness. And thank you. I hope that I get my goal by today. Thank you.
You will hit it. Okay, so next I would like to invite Officer Nero, played by Hanina, right? Did I spell your name correct? Please come forward and introduce yourself.
Yes, thank you. My name is Hanina Diastiti, and I'm from Indonesia. I studied law at Pasundan University, and currently I'm on my second year. Today I'll be playing the witness from the prosecution side, which is Officer Nero. And the reason why I choose to attend this event because it was one of my goals to have a practical trial, not in my first language. And I want to learn about a lot of things, and of course the law system that I was not learning in my country. Thank you.
Thank you, Hanina. And next, I would like to invite Disha.
Yes.
Thank you, Disha. Can you introduce yourself to all the participants today?
Okay, so hello and namaste. My name is Diksha Adhikari and I'm from Nepal. So I'm a first year student at Kathmandu School of Law, which is affiliated to Purvanchal University. And so the main reason for me to participate in this CLC mock trial was to learn and be more familiar with the procedures of the actual world of legal practice, and what I personally believe is this CLC exclusionary hearing can be a helpful approach for law student like me to develop their knowledge, skills, and abilities, which will be really beneficial for them in the coming future. So for today, I will be playing the role of witness from the prosecution side. So my role is senior officer straight, and thank you. Let's do well.
Yes. Disha, perhaps I want to ask you to rename to like change your name in the screen, so later on when the prosecutor they call the witness, we know who is who. We don't want to use your real name. We want to know the name of the role that you play.
And Chief Judge, I think we can leave her name on there, but maybe she should put Diksha and then Senior Officer straight. But just notice that behind each one of them in the backgrounds, they do have their witness name. But it's good, Diksha. If you could just put Diksha, we don't necessarily need Kathmandu School of Law, but just put Senior Officer straight. Great.
And next, I would like to invite the last witness in the prosecution team, Ziki, right? Ziki. Yeah, please come forward and introduce yourself. You are mute. We cannot hear you.
Hello.
Good. You are good. Okay.
Hi everyone, my name is Anjali Sai. You can call me Anjali. I belong to Nepal, and currently I'm joining this event from my home, Sarlahi, Nepal. I belong to I'm studying BA LLB course, which means Bachelor in Arts and Law from Nepal Law Campus, which is under Tribhuvan University. Today I have prepared for third prosecution witness role named as Jiki Bagman. You can see in my screen as well. For which I'm excited as well in this evening event. I wanted to participate in this BAPSICLE Asia Virtual, to which I'm participating as well, to explore the horizon of my learnings regarding the trial of different laws, different procedures, and to experience, and also for the fun and enjoyment which I am thoroughly enjoying from the workshops. Thank you. Looking forward for the day.
Thank you. So now all the members in prosecution team already completed the introduction. I would like to invite the defense.
I think
team.
just the clerk. Each team has chosen a person they're going to split the roles of the clerk for the when the prosecution goes and then when the defense goes. So there's somebody on the prosecution team who's going to play the clerk when the prosecution goes. So we can have the prosecution clerk.
So who will play the role of the okay here. So the next one Jigyasa. I'm good at calling me.
My name is Jigyasa Upreti. I'm from Nepal. I study in Kathmandu School of Law, which is affiliated with Purvanchal University. And for today's session, I am the clerk from prosecution side. And I think this has been a great opportunity to learn and explore. Thank you.
Thank you, Jigyasa. And then can I ask BAPSI CLE team to show the face of the defense team on the screen? Okay, so Shanja, you are the defense lawyer number 1, right? Please
Yes.
Introduce yourself.
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Shanza Fatma, and I'm from Pakistan. I'm from Canade College for Women. I am currently in my last year of law, like a few months to go, and then I'll be a lawyer. Yes, and I have participated in BAPSICLE because I was told, like we got an email in which we were told we will be split up into different teams, and we'll have to work with different people from different backgrounds, different cultures. And yes, this is what motivated me to participate in this. So I'll like learn about different cultures and different systems of law. Thank you.
Lovely to hear from you. I really love passion food. That's one of my favorite food in the world. Next, may I ask Anom Jilang to come forward and introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you. So, hello everyone. My name is Anam Gilang Pamungkas. I am currently in my third year of the law degree in Indonesia, specifically in Pasundan University. And the reason I wanted to study, want to study in this particular workshop is that there's so much different systems of legal systems in the world, and we in Indonesia is following the civil code of principles in the system of legal system. So it is very interesting, and it has been an incredible fun to participate in this particular workshop. It has been a great fun working with everyone, and I love working with everyone here. Thank you.
Thank you, Anom. Next, Alice. Alice, in the role of Elcha Parker, can you introduce yourself? You are mute.
Yeah, I'm from Myanmar.
Can you speak out loud? We hardly can. Yeah. Better. Okay.
Okay. My name is San Tatet. I'm from Myanmar. I'm studying at Moya University. Study a law student. But due to the situations of my country, I can't attend the university last 2 years ago. So now I'm keep studying on the online class, and the other what can I do? I'm really interested in the mock trial events. Like the mock trial, I think mock trial should every law student should participate in the work like this workshop, because this workshop gives us not only the knowledge but also the skills, and we can be practiced for our career. So I really love to join it, and I really see from the different country, like law students of the other country. Thank you.
Thank you, Alice. Next, I would like to invite Anam in the role of Den Katia. Sorry. Yeah.
I'm Anam Iqbal. I'm from Lahore, Pakistan, and I'm currently studying in Kinnaid College for Women. And I am a fourth-year law student. So basically, there is a semester system in our university. So I'm an 8th semester student. And the purpose of why I wanted to be a part of this workshop is because I wanted to learn something new. I wanted to get exposure of how the court proceedings work. And I wanted to meet and talk people from different cultures and to get to know about their cultures and about how they behave and how they think. So that was my motivation for being a part of this workshop. Thank you.
Thank you, Anam. Next, I would like to invite Kenny in the role of witness Banchakil to come forward and introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I am Kenny. I am from the Philippines. I study at Arellano University School of Law. It's actually also my final year, just the same as Sukriti. And today I'll be playing the role of Banchakil. So I joined the this mock CLE program because I feel that I still need to learn more about how to carry myself when it comes to doing stuff in the courtroom, the actual practice of law. And I think this is going to be a very valuable experience for me to understand how to analyze the situation in a courtroom, particularly looking at how other counsels are arguing, and trying also to understand the psyche, if I can say that, of the judges in order to, I don't know, appeal our case to them. Yeah, that'll be all. Thank you.
Thank you. And the final person will introduce today will be like Surity in the role of the colleague for the defense team.
It's Sukriti, actually.
Sukriti.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Sukriti Dhingal. I'm from Nepal. I'm currently studying in first year in Kathmandu School of Law. And I'm playing the role of clerk in this role play today. And regarding why I wanted to join the workshop was because I never joined any other type of events, and I really wanted to have some new experience and learn new things. So after I joined this workshop, I got to know a lot of code procedure as well as how to make like all the things that was very new for me. And one thing was I didn't even know that there was something like evidence hearing too. So from here, I got to learn about it too. So I think it was very fruitful to me, and I got to know various different things regarding with the code procedure, which I'm very much familiar now. Thank you.
Yeah, we love to hear thing like that from you, because I think like this is the great effort from BUPSI team and all of the partner of BUPSI CLE to arrange for the material for this workshop. And so hopefully like through this mock trial you will learn more and understand more about common law trial system. So perhaps now I ask like I will ask all the judges to get out of the room, right? Or we will have a colleague Bruce to do that job.
I think if the judges move away from the camera, the clerk will ask everybody to stand up as the judges come in. And I think at the same time also, all the witnesses, including Elcha Parker should be one of the witnesses, will be put in a separate room. They're not allowed to listen to the testimony until they're finished testimony of others until they're finished testifying. In a regular trial, the accused Elcha Parker would be allowed, but for this purpose, we're going to have even Elcha Parker put in the waiting room. So all those, and so I think all the judges maybe should stand up. And the clerk will tell everybody to stand, and then you'll come in, and then we'll be seated. Okay.
Okay. The mock CLE evidence exclusionary hearing is about to begin. Everybody please stand up. Okay, everybody please be seated. The court is now in session.
So the prosecution and the defense are ready yet?
We are ready, Your Honor.
We are ready, Your Honor.
Thank you. Is the prosecution ready to proceed with the hearing to establish your burden to submit the evidence?
Yes, we are ready, Your Honor.
Please proceed.
Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, judges. We stand here as a prosecution for the people. It is our duty to uphold justice and truth. We are here to enforce it, especially in the evidence that we have. On this occasion, we brought all of you here to know the explanation from our witnesses and also the facts that the evidence is lawfully obtained and should be admitted in the big trial. Your Honor, we all know that the police duty must be to protect the society from any danger. A checkpoint is an annual thing to the police usually do, especially if they get a report. That's why on 1st March 2023, our witness, Officer Strait, set up the checkpoint and stopped the car randomly to check if there was any danger. According to the procedure, The police do the introduction and propose to the defendant what they had to do. We know that the defendant worked for PDP, which by the fact has been under the surveillance of a trade drugs link. So the passenger has been previously arrested. Such suspicions must be followed up in order to protect the society. That's why the police did a freak search. By the fact, Officer Strait found something of interest, which is a small electronic scale that may have something to do with criminal offenses such as drugs. Therefore, a search should have been carried out. Then, Officer Strait, assisted by Officer Nero, found another something of interest, such as white powder that confirmed to be pure cocaine weighing 1 kilogram. Not only that, they found some cash and 2 mobile phones. It's unusual for someone having 2 phones and have suspicious behavior when the police asks about the phone. That's why the police have a reasonable doubt to check the phones. Your Honor, the police have done their duty to protect the safety of the people. Let us explore the details of these facts, which will be explained by our witnesses who are present today. Your Honor, like we said before, we believe that the evidence must be included for the trial. The police has been lawfully follow the law and obtain the evidence legally. That's all for us. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, prosecutor. So, do you finish your opening statement, or this is the first part of your opening statement, and prosecutor number 2 will present the remaining part?
That's all for me for opening statement.
Thank you, the prosecutor. Do you want to call for your first witness?
Chief Judge, I think you need to call the defense to give their opening statement.
Sorry. The defense, are you ready for the opening statement?
Yes, I am ready.
Please proceed. The defense lawyer, you are good.
Sorry, am I audible now?
Yes,
yeah.
You are good.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, respectable judges and my worthy fellows. My name is Shanza Fatma and I'll be presenting defense and will establish that the search conducted on Altra Parker was unlawful and that during search, evidence found should be excluded as there was no legal backing to conduct this search. Your Honor, at first, I'll put facts in front of you, and then gradually I'll highlight the issues as a defense lawyer. Your Honor, Altra Parker is a student who, along with her studies, works part-time at a delivery service company. So eventually this court will learn that she was stopped wrongfully and checkpoint placed to stop her was unlawful as Officer Strait failed to follow Ziltanu laws. Your Honor, moving forward to the facts of the case, Altra Parker is a 28 years old who is engineering student and works for a package delivery service company where she works for where she delivers various packages and collects the payment. So, Your Honor, on 1st of March, she, after having meeting with her boss at PDP's warehouse, while another employee was loading the packages of crates into her car, and her partner, Diane Carrier, was accompanying her. She was stopped by a police officer at the Pacific Avenue where no signage was placed. After asking a few questions, Senior Officer Strait started looking inside the car, which made Ultra uncomfortable. Your Honor, this intrusion goes against the privacy laws. Then Senior Officer Strait started asking accusatory questions, and this aggressive inquiry, Ultra became distressed and started fidgeting her watch and pocket, and was trying to reach her stress ball. This was used as an opportunity by Senior Officer Strait to pose her to unnecessary search by covering it under the title of suspicion. And through this, he conducted the frisk search, which made Ultra uncomfortable. He did not have any warrant to conduct this search and did not tell any reasons to conduct this search, which is kind of suspicious, like why he was doing it. Your Honor, now moving forward, Senior Officer Strait pushed my client, Ultra Parker, against the car and conducted a car search, which again was done without showing a warrant. During search, Senior Officer Strait found a phone, which he was clearly told by Ultra that it belonged to PDP, but Senior Officer Strait took its password coercively and without consent of my client. Despite working for Ziltanu police force for like about 16 years, Senior Officer Strait did not follow any of the Ziltanu's law, as moving further, according to the statements of the witnesses, no signage was placed and Ultra was not informed of a right to have a lawyer or being silenced. Your Honor, I'll sum up the issues for you. There are 4 issues in this case. The first one is setting up of the checkpoint, which according to us, the defense side, was not set up legally. Second, conducting of the frisk search of Ultra was without any legal backing. Thirdly, conducting car search was not in accordance with the Ziltanu laws, as no warrant was shown. And fourthly, and lastly, Ultra's phone was checked and was searched without her consent. Your Honor, for all these reasons stated earlier, defense lawyer requests court to exclude any evidence found as a result of the pre-arrest search and testimony obtained of Ultra Parker. Thank you so much.
Thank you, defense lawyer. Next prosecution, do you want to call your witness? The first witness?
We would, Your Honor. The prosecution would like to call first witness, Officer Strait.
Officer Strait. Can the clerk give the witness administer the oath to the witness, please?
Is Officer Strait here?
Officer Strait?
Did we lose Officer Strait? There's Officer Strait. Officer Strait is back. We could spotlight Officer Strait.
Officer Strait, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you promise that the testimony you shall give in the case before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I promise that the testimony I will give on this trial will be only truth and nothing but the truth.
Okay, you may sit.
Thank you, the clerk. So now, prosecutor, one, you can proceed with the chip examination.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Hello, Officer Strait. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Can you please introduce yourself?
So, hello, I'm a senior officer Strait. I have worked for the Jaltanu Police Force for the past 16 years, and I'm 49 years old. Over the past 9 years, I have worked as a member of the Traffic Control Unit.
Okay, Officer Strait, why do you think you're being placed in Traffic Control Unit in Police of Jaltanu?
So prior to 2023, I have performed a lot of traffic checkpoints. I consider drugs to be very terrible for our society, and I believe that checkpoints are an excellent tool to assist stop the trafficking of drugs on the daily basis. I'm really honored to be a member of our traffic control unit. I'm now assigned to the police department of Jaltanu traffic control section for this reason.
Officer Strait, can you tell us about your schedule or what have you planned on the 1st March 2023?
On the March 1st, 2023, I was in charge of managing a traffic checkpoint at the intersection of Pacific Avenue and Esther Road. By 10 a.m., I established the checkpoint. Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about the checkpoint that you set on 1st March 2023?
So sorry, can you repeat the question? I didn't get that.
Okay, sure. Can you tell us about the checkpoint that you set on 1st March 2023?
Basically the reason for setting up the checkpoint was we got information that drugs were being transported down Pacific Avenue. So that was basically the main reason we set up the checkpoint.
Could you tell us what the first thing you did when you set up the checkpoint?
So after establishing and setting up the checkpoint around 11 a.m., I stopped a black BMW of an older model towards the checkpoint. So the first thing I did was to stop the black BMW on the routine checkpoint area.
Okay, so what did you do after the car stopped at the checkpoint?
After the car stopped at the checkpoint, when I got close to the car, I could see two people sitting inside the car. As I approached the car, I immediately recognized the person in the passenger seat from my previous arrest. Furthermore, I introduced myself and explained why their car had been suddenly stopped by us. I basically told them about the routine checkpoint in that specific area.
Okay, what things did you inspect?
Afterwards, I requested Elra Parker's names and identification evidence. Elra Parker's driver's license was also inspected by me.
Okay, so after you asked for the identification, what did you do next?
As I inspected Elra Parker's driver license, I noticed some suspicious object inside the car.
What did you see inside the car?
So there were various things what I have noticed and saw inside the car. So on the dashboard, I saw a pack of cigarettes. So in the dashboard, I saw a pack of cigarettes. In the center console, I saw an open envelope holding cash. On the back seat, I saw empty envelopes and rolling papers.
Could you tell us what's your reason to tell the defendants to get out of the car?
So as soon as I saw these suspicious items and objects inside the car, I realized they were frequently used by drug dealers. As my past 9 years as a traffic checkpoint office
Objection, Your
vouch
Honor.
for the fact.
Okay. What's
Objection,
your
Your Honor.
Chief Judge, you're on mute.
Defense lawyer, you have a question, right? You have a question, right?
Yes.
Objection.
You have an objection. What is
Objection.
the reason for your objection?
The witness was stating a speculative evidence, stating that the witness was speculating on the evidence that the cigarettes was a sign of drug dealers, because the witness is not an expert in drug dealings.
Sorry, can you repeat?
The witness was speculating on the evidence that the cigarettes was a sign of drug dealers. The witness is not an expert in drugs.
Chief Judge, you want to ask if the prosecutor would like to respond?
The prosecutor, do you want to respond to the objection from the defense lawyer?
No, I just want to ask a next question.
Okay, so the objection is sustained. Let's move to the next question.
Okay.
Prosecutor.
Okay. Officer Shrey, what's your purpose for doing a frisk search to the driver and the passenger?
So Parker looked tense. His or her eyes were bloodshot, and he or she was frightening and checking his or her watch all the time. Parker even avoided looking me in the eyes. I started inquiring and investigating the driver about the contents of the parcel. Parker responded angrily and refused to say what the packages contained. That's where my suspicions for them started to grow, and requested them to get out of their car, and that is one of the main purpose to conduct the frisk search.
Okay, so again, what else did you do after the frisk search?
So after that, I told them I would need to do a frisk search when both people got out of the car. My colleagues, my colleague Naro, who was sitting in our police car, came over at this point to see if he could help with the frisk search. I questioned them both about whether they were trying any illicit substance or hazardous weapons, and which I should be aware of. Both replied with the same answer, no. Parker, however, grew more irritated and aggressive after I asked this question. Parker began to pull something out of his or her pocket as he or she reached inside it, while he or she said it was a stress ball. I was not quite confident that it was not a weapon. I then aggressively grabbed Parker's and carrier as a precaution against any potential damage that may be brought on by a deadly weapon. Parker was acting suspiciously, and so due to Parker's aggressive and suspicious behavior, I had to search him or her right away to make sure there was nothing harmful on them that may endanger the safety of others.
Okay, so what's your reason to decide that you need to search the vehicle?
So after all that happened, I started a freak search, focusing first on Parker and then carrier. A stress ball was discovered in Parker's area of clothing that he or she was reaching for during the freak search. After this, I resumed the freak search since I still needed to be sure he or she did not have a weapon on them. Then I discovered a little electronic scale in Parker's jacket's inner front pocket. According to my research and observation, drug traffickers frequently use these scales to measure out little amounts of drugs for each sale. I told Parker that I would need to know the electronic scale away so I could conduct some research on that. I asked my colleague, Officer Narrow, to search the car after finding the electronic scale, as there was no any reason to carry an electronic scale on the time of delivery. So after that, I questioned Parker, and then I went on the search with my colleague, Officer Narrow. Yeah.
Sorry, because the time is up, so I have to stop the witness number 1, Officer Straight here. Now I would like to invite the defense lawyer. Do you want to cross-examine Officer Straight?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please proceed.
So, Senior Officer Straight, I would like you to answer in a yes or no. So my first question to you is, you didn't mention of any signage being placed. This means no sign was placed, right? You didn't mention of any.
The car search was conducted in a certain way and manner.
Senior Officer Straight, please, I want you to reply in a yes or no. Thank you.
No, there was no any sign is being placed.
Yes.
So
Okay. So did you recognize Dan Carrier? Like you mentioned, you had an idea that he has been convicted for drugs before, right?
Yes, and I
just
arrested him. Yeah, so I know him. Yeah.
Thank you. I just want answers in a yes or no. So my next question is, fidgeting and looking at her watch. Elter looking at her watch and fidgeting with her pocket might mean she was getting late for her delivery. Do you agree this?
I don't completely agree with this, but maybe yes, maybe no.
Yeah. So I'll take it as a no for my side. Thank you. You conducted a frisk search, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and you didn't show any warrant for that.
Yes.
Okay. So you found a stress ball, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think there was no weapon. You found a stress ball, and which means there was no reason to conduct a further search, right?
So
because
this is a drug case, so there may be and may not be any hazardous weapon. But
okay, so I just want answers in a yes or no, because you said you were suspicious. Because Altra fidgeting her watch and her pocket. So on finding a stress ball, you should have stopped right there and then, right?
No.
Okay. Okay, I'll ask that further. You didn't tell Altra about her rights or a right to get a lawyer, did you?
No.
No. Yes. So again, you didn't have warrant, or you didn't show warrant to conduct a car search, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now moving forward to some of the last questions, I would like to ask, you didn't took you did not take Altra's consent while opening her phone, right?
Yes.
Yes. So and when you asked Altra about her relationship with Diane, don't you think you were asking some personal questions from Altra, right?
No.
So
because they may be partners of some kind of business, or they may be partners in delivering their packages. So there
thank you,
could be
but yeah, okay. So you prepared a business record of a road side checkpoint, which was made 4 days later. This shows you being irresponsible with the case. This is what I think. This is right.
And maybe you can think that.
I'll take it as a yes. So thank you so much. These were the questions from the side of course examination. Thank you.
Okay, the defense lawyer, you finished all the question, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. The prosecutor, do you want to re-examine your witness?
Yes, we
Proof
would.
at officer's check?
Yes, we would, Your Honor.
Please proceed.
Okay, Officer Strait, can you tell us about how you searched the car and what did you find on that search?
So search the conducted a car search. We noticed a PDP branding containers carrying many parcels in the trunk of the car. Officer Naro and I noticed one package that seemed unique from the other, since it was labeled with an address but no name.
What inside the package that has address but no name?
So as my colleague Naro and I opened the package, we discovered a self-sealing baggie filled with white powder. I know that drug dealers use a baggie like this one from my past years of experience in this size to smuggle cocaine and drugs. A black bag with a lot of cash was also discovered in the trunk next to a crate.
What Officer Nero do after you found that white powder?
So basically, not only Naro, but Naro and I turned around to the passenger side of the car and unlocked the glove box with. So after that, we discovered 2 cell phones on the glove box.
Okay. So about the phones, can you tell us about that?
So my colleague Officer Naro reviewed one of the cell phone I gave from the glove box, but no any information was found on it. I discovered that the other mobile phone needed a passcode when I tried to open it. As I approached Parker and inquired as to whether he or she could disclose the phone's passcode.
So Um, on the first question, can you tell us again about the procedure on the checkpoint that you set up?
So can you repeat the question? I didn't get that.
Okay, Officer Strait, can you tell us again about the procedure on the checkpoint that you set up?
So basically the checkpoint was set up after we got information that drugs were being transported down Pacific Avenue on the state of Jaltanu. So that's why we set up the checkpoint.
I will ask you again about the phone. So what did you find on that phones?
On the first phone, we found basically nothing, but on the second phone, which apparently Parker had told that it was the phone given by the PDP delivery company. So my and my colleagues' search of the phone revealed a list of names with corresponding amount of money listed on it. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, no further question. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Prosecutor, do you want to call your second witness?
Yes, Your Honor. We would like to call Officer Nero.
Officer Nero, please come forward to the stand. Clerk, can you administer the oath to Officer Nero?
Officer Nero, please stand up and raise your right hand. Do you promise that the testimony you shall give in this case before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you, Officer Nero. Prosecutor 1, you can proceed your chief examination of the Officer Nero.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay, so first, hello, Officer Nero. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, are you ready for answer some questions?
I'm ready to proceed.
Okay, can you please introduce yourself first?
My name is Nero. I'm 28 years old. I've graduated from Zaltanu Police Academy around a year ago, and I was assigned to assist Senior Officer on Traffic Control Unit.
Okay, Officer Nero, can you tell us what did you do on 1st March 2023?
So on the 1st March 2023, actually that was my third day on the job. I was told to assist Senior Officer for setting up a checkpoint because the police actually got a report about drugs being transferred along Pacific Avenue and Astor Road. And then I was told to wait at the police car while Senior Officer do all the procedure to set up a checkpoint. And then, yeah, I just waiting until I was told to assist her.
Okay, what Officer Strait do when he stopped the car?
So I saw that she was walking toward the car after she stopped the black BMW. And then, yeah, I saw her talking with the driver.
Where were you at that time?
I was waiting inside the police car.
Okay, so you waited inside the police car. Okay, can you explain us what you see from your position at the time?
So, like I said before, I saw Senior Officer Straight approach the vehicle that she stopped, and I saw her talking with the driver. And then, not so long after that, I saw the driver and the passenger got out of the car and standing at the sidewalk. I think Senior Officer Straight told them to. And from my positions, I could see that the driver, the body language of the driver is very stiff, and she was kind of reaching her pocket, and then it was very nerve wracking for me because we were trained that it might be something dangerous if someone acting so suspicious and like putting her hand inside a pocket or something. It could be something dangerous. So I got out of the car, but I stand not so close, and even from that positions, I could hear the driver talk very loudly towards Senior Officer Straight. And then, yeah, later than Senior Officer Straight called me to assist him.
What did you do after Officer Straight called you to assist him?
So I was told to search the car. So I searched the car, the vehicle.
Okay, can you tell us what are you found inside the vehicle?
So I searched the car from the back seat, and then I basically just found nothing of interest. And then I went to the trunk, and on the trunk, I saw a crate with a PDP's logos on it. And inside of the crate, it has a lot of various packages. And I saw a bag containing a lot of cash, big amount of cash. And then I remember that Officer Straight told me that there is one package that looks very suspicious because we all know that usually a package containing a recipient name and the address, but that package didn't have a name on it, only the address. And then after searching the trunk, Senior Officer Straight searched the front of the car, and I think she found 2 mobile phones on the glove compartment.
Okay. After you found that suspicious package, what did you do?
Yeah, so because it's very unusual, me and Officer Straight decide to open the package, and then once it opened, we saw a white powder inside a self-seal baggie.
Okay. About the phones, who found it?
Officer Straight. Officer Straight found it on the glove compartment.
Did you find something on the phone?
I didn't find something of interest, anything of
Objection,
interest.
Your Honor. Objection, Your Honor.
Defense lawyer.
The prosecution was leading the witness.
Can Pepsi team put the defense lawyer on the screen? I could not see him.
Can we just be clear that this is the defense lawyer who's going to be doing the cross of this witness before we even answer this question?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Then when we started, we should have the defense lawyer up. Okay. So that's good. Okay, so we're making sure, because remember, that's the only people that are able to object. So defense lawyer, can you maybe restate your objection to the chief judge, and the chief judge can take it from there.
Yes.
Before we continue, I would like to apologize. I have a bit of a trouble with my laptop, so I cannot use a background. So my objection is objection, Your Honor. The prosecution was leading the witness by having the answer of the question in the question in their questions.
So the prosecutor number 1, do you want to respond to the defense lawyer's objection?
Yes, Your Honor. So the witness, Officer Nero, has just mentioned it at the previous question. So I asked about the phone.
Your Honor, may I respond?
Yes, please.
Despite the fact, in chief examination, leading question is not allowed.
What is her leading question?
A leading question is where the prosecutor asks a question that will elicit an answer that says yes or no question.
I understand the concept or the definition of leading question. I asked what does she say that you said as the leading question?
So Chief Judge, maybe you should ask the prosecutor to re-ask the question to you. Don't let the witness answer. Rather than ask the defense lawyer to give that, ask the prosecutor to repeat the question so the judges can consider the question. And then you can then as judges determine if it's in fact a leading question.
Thank you, Bruce.
That's good.
Prosecutor number one, can you repeat your question?
Sure, Your Honor. So, at first, can you tell us what are you found inside the vehicle? Officer Nero.
I don't think that was the question that was objected to.
I don't think so. What is the question? You said that defense lawyer number two stopped you right there.
I think at the question when I'm asked about the phone.
Yeah, what is your question?
Yeah, I think can I ask on the next question?
Okay. So sustain the objection. Just move forward to your next question.
Officer Nero, who's found the phone?
Yeah, the phone was found by Officer Strait.
Did you find something on the phone?
I didn't find anything of interest on the phone that was given to me.
Okay, after you're done with the search, what did you do next?
After I done with the search, I put all the evidence that we gather, such as the white powder in self-sealed baggie and the small electronic scale that Officer Strait found from the fish search on the duffel bag. And then, I put the duffel bag inside the police car.
After you put the duffel bag, what's after that?
After I put the duffel bag into the police car, I was told by Senior Officer Strait that we have enough evidence to charge to charge Miss Parker. So yeah, I just said okay.
Okay. What Officer Strait do when you came back to the police car to put up the evidence?
I think she was arresting Miss Parker.
What Miss Parker and his partner do when Officer Strait do arrest?
I heard Miss Parker speak very loudly, saying that she didn't do drugs, and yeah.
Okay. What do you do with the evidence that you brought?
I put it inside. I put it on the trunk of the police car, and then I drove the police car with Miss Parker and her partner, and of course, Senior Officer Strait to the stations.
Okay. Then what did you do after arrive at the station?
After we arrived at the stations, I basically gave the evidence back to Senior Officer Strait because I have some family urgent matters, so I have to end my shift early.
Okay, no more question, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, prosecutor number one. Defense lawyer, do you want to cross-examine the witness?
Yes, Your Honor. We would like to cross-examine the witness.
Yes, please proceed.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. So, Officer Nero, you were on your third day on the job on the 1st of March, correct?
Correct.
So, at what time did you leave the station with Officer Strait?
If I'm not wrong, we'll leave around 6.
6 a.m.
Yep.
Yes. Did you go directly to the checkpoint during those hours?
We actually kind of patrol first before we setting up the checkpoint to the Pacific Avenue and Astor Road.
Okay, thank you. So, did you at any point stop before the checkpoint to put up a sign?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Did you at any point before you arrive at the checkpoint stop to put up a sign?
I'm scared that I don't understand your questions. Sorry.
I would like to re-ask. So, did you stop prior to the checkpoint? Did you make a stop?
What do you mean by stop?
Did you make a stop to put up a sign?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Okay, so who put up the sign?
I believe it was Senior Officer Strait responsible because I was told to wait at the police car.
Would there be anyone that would support your testimony?
I meant I shouldn't have doubt Officer Strait for not putting any signage because he's a senior. She's a senior.
Okay, so did you clearly see Officer Strait put up a sign or not?
I don't clearly see, but I believe she
So you do
put
not
any
see.
sign.
Thank you. So you do not see Officer Strait put up a sign.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So you were there at the checkpoint to assist Officer Strait, correct?
Correct.
Was Officer Strait the one who talked to Ultra?
I'm sorry?
Was Officer Strait the one who talks to Ultra on the checkpoint?
Yes.
Okay, so you were assisting Officer Strait closely during the frisk, correct?
I was standing in front of the police car, but not too close from them.
Did you assist Officer Strait on the frisk search?
I didn't.
You did not.
I did assist him on the car search.
So you only assist Officer Strait during the car search?
Yes.
Although you previously mentioned that you assist the Officer Strait during the frisk search, is there any reason for the change of testimony?
I'm sorry?
You previously mentioned in your statement of facts that you stated that you helped Officer Strait during the frisk search. Was there any reason for you to change the testimony today?
I didn't say that I helped Officer Strait doing the research.
So you refuse to admit that you assist Officer Strait on the frisk search?
I didn't assist him on the research, but I did assist him on the car search.
Okay. So you were searching the car together with Officer Strait, correct?
Correct.
So it was the two of you.
Correct.
Okay, so were you aware of the labels on the crate of the package?
Yes, I'm aware.
Yes. So you were closely assisting Officer Strait during the search, correct?
Correct.
Yes. So did at any point Officer Strait talk to Ultra Parker during the car search?
I think I focus on searching the car rather than focusing on what my partner do.
Okay, so when you opened the packages, did you do it together?
We decided together to open the package that looks unusual to us.
So the two of you opened the packages together, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So prior to opening the crates, did Officer Strait talk to Ultra or not?
I'm sorry?
Just moments before opening the packages, did Officer Strait ask anything to Ultra?
I don't recall.
But you were closely assisting Officer Strait during the car search when you opened the packages, correct?
I think I was too focusing on the packages because it looks unusual.
Okay,
and I
so you do
checked the
not
other
recall.
various packages.
Yes, thank you. So you do not recall if any conversation was made by Officer Strait with Ultra Parker?
Correct.
Okay, so during the search of the car, you found two phones in the glove box, correct?
Officer Strait found the phone.
Okay, thank you. Officer Strait found the two phones. Which one of the phone did you check?
I checked the phone with the one without the passcode.
Okay, so did you just open it, or did you say anything or do anything prior to opening the phone?
Because I saw that Miss Parker gave the passcode to Officer Strait, so I think I got the concern to investigate the phone.
Thank you. And another question: was there a homeless person near the car during the checkpoint?
I'm sorry, can you repeat?
Was there a homeless person near the car during the stop?
There is someone standing closely to the black BMW, but I don't know if he was a homeless or whatever.
Okay, so you recall there's someone standing, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so did Officer Strait say anything to them?
Yeah, I think officer told kind of speak to him. I think she told him to not standing very close to the area.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
Thank you, defense lawyer. Prosecutor, do you want to examine your witness?
No, Your Honor. The witness answered clearly.
Okay. So do you want to call for your, like, do you have any other witness?
Yes, Your Honor. The prosecution would like to call the third witness, Mr. Siki Backman, into the court.
Please put witness Ziki, right?
Yes, Siki Backman.
Yeah, please put witness Ziki Batman on the stand. Okay, Prosecutor Clegg, can you administer the oath to the witness?
Mr. Bagman, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you promise that the testimony you shall give in this case before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I promise. I shall speak truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Thank you, Miss. Thank you. Thank you, the witness. Prosecutor, now you can now that you can proceed the chief examiner of your last witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Miss Siggy Batman. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm good.
Yeah. Could you introduce yourself to the court, please?
Yeah, my name is Ziggy Backman. I'm 63 years old and I'm currently unemployed. I have been living on the street of Jalpano for past few years.
What was your previous job?
Previously, I used to own a motor garage. Previously, I owned the motor garage.
Could you please describe what you have saw around the Pacific Avenue? Is there any happen around there?
Yes, on Pacific Avenue, I usually sit on my usual spot at the side of the Pacific Avenue, where the police came by and set up the checkpoint. Where I do not recall any signage, but it was a checkpoint, and I noticed a black BMW approaching the checkpoint.
What do you do after that? After seeing the black BMW was directed to the checkpoint?
As previously, I owned the motor garage, and where our our garage specialties was working on the BMWs. And whenever I see them, I always have interest to watch them and study them. So I approached nearer to the incident.
What did you see in the car?
I see two passengers sitting in the car.
Who are they?
Who now I known as that they were Elta Parker and Dan Courier.
What did the senior officer straight say to the driver?
Senior officer straight firstly introduced himself, then asked for their name and driver's name and identification.
What the attitude of Elta Parker performed to the police officer straight?
As far as I remember, Elta Parker was appeared to be agitated towards the officers, and also she was unable to stand still.
What happened after that?
After that, senior state officer called Officer Narrow, and they did the strict search on officer on Elta Parker and another passenger.
Why did senior officer straight patch down Elta Parker at the time?
At that time, as far as I remember, as I was staying closer to the incident, even if a senior officer told me to move away, it was near to my eyesight, and when I saw that Elta Parker was so agitated and was fidgeting her hands towards the pocket, and to check what's inside the pocket, senior officer straight did the fixed search.
What was the result after the frisk search?
As far as I saw, there was an electronic scale.
Did the senior officer straight and officer narrow or do after finding the electronic scale?
After that, they both went near the car and searched through the cars and engine bay.
What did they found from the car searching?
as I look, when the engine was open, I took the opportunity to inspect the new open engine bay of the car. As I previously stated, I had so much interest in the BMW cars. So I saw them taking out some packages and envelopes. That's it.
What happened after Ezra Parker handling the phone to the senior officer straight?
Oh yeah, a senior officer also took the phone from the car and handed to the Elder Parker, and they were discussing something.
Is that unlocked phone?
As far as I saw, Elder Parker herself unlocked it and handed it back to senior officer straight.
What did Ezra Parker say after asserting to the police car?
As far as I recall, Elder Parker was yelling out like as telling it, if I can quote that, "What are you talking about? I don't do drugs." Yeah, this was the statement.
What do you think the behavior of Ezra Parker and then career toward the police officer?
They were quite agitated towards the officers and maybe not cooperative or something was happening between them.
Thank you, Mayor Siki Bachman. Thank you, Honor. That's all for our examination in chief question. Thank you.
Thank you, prosecutor, defense lawyer. Do you want to cross-examine the witness?
Yes, Your Honor. The defense would like to cross-examine the prosecution witness.
Please proceed.
So, good evening, Mr. Ziggy, Mrs. Ziggy.
Yes, please.
So, you were sitting in Pacific Avenue when the stop started, correct?
Yes, I was there.
At what time did you start sitting around Pacific Avenue?
I was staying there as I was living on the street only. So I was there from the morning and it was around 10-11 when the whole thing happened.
But you were sitting on the Pacific Avenue since the morning, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So at that particular point, from your viewpoint, did the officers put up a sign or not?
Could you please repeat the question?
Did the officers put up a sign, to your knowledge?
Sorry, I didn't get it.
Did the officers put up a sign?
Officers found whom?
Did the police officers put up a sign?
No, there was no sign.
Okay, thank you. So, you was interested on the car because you worked on BMW previously, correct?
Yes.
Yes. And did you ask the officers permission to inspect the car?
No, when I saw the car, I was standing near by the car, and when those officers told me to move away, I was not that far from the car, so I was inspecting the car engine, and as I was there, yes, I didn't ask for the permission, but I was there.
Yes, thank you. So you was expecting the engine bay, correct?
Yes.
Yes, you told us that you were told to move away by Officer Strait. How far did you stand from the engine bay?
I did not remember the exact kilometers how far I was, but I was quite clear in the view what was happening over there.
Yes, so you can see what happens on the car, correct?
Yes, I can see. Also, I can hear what was happening.
Would you say that you stand about 1 meter or 2 meters from the car?
Maybe. I did not recall exact location, exact distance.
So let's say around 1.5 to 2 meters from the car, correct?
You can assume.
Yes. Okay. So did the police officers prevented you from interfering after they told you to move away?
No, they were doing their business. I was just standing there and looking at the engine.
Okay, so were you able to recall any conversation made by Officer Strait with Eltra Parker?
Yes, when the officers when the officer asked to do the freak search of the car, Eltra Parker was responding by telling, yes, I have nothing to hide.
Yes. Can you please clarify to the court that you are 63 years old, correct?
Yes, I am 63 years old.
Yes, and you were standing 1 or 2 meters from the car, right?
Yes, but I do not have any hearing problem here now.
Okay, so you stood in the vicinity of the engine bay until Eltra was arrested, correct?
Yes, I was there.
So you was inspecting the engine bay during the stop.
Yes, I was doing.
Okay, thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you, defense lawyer. Prosecutor, do you want to re-examine the witness?
Yes, Your Honor. The prosecution would like to have the re-examination with Ms. Siki Bachman. May we proceed, please?
Please.
Ms. Siki Bachman, where were you on the 1st March 2023, and what time were you there?
I was usually on my own spot on the side of Pacific Avenue on 1st March 2023. And it was around 10 to 11. I was there since morning, and the investigation, all those incidents happened around 10 to 11 a.m.
Could you please describe the situation before the BMW car was directed to the checkpoint?
Yes, there were so many other cars which were searched by the officers, but I do not give or interfere there because I had no interest in other cars. But as the Eltra Parker's car, which was black BMW, that catches my interest. Yeah.
What led senior officers to conduct the freak search on Eltra Parker, do you think?
As they found the electric scale, as the Eltra Parker was agitated, visiting her pocket, and they also found the electric scale, they might have some doubt or of having dangerous weapon in the car, or maybe, I don't know the laws exactly, but surely if the senior officers, like senior officer Estate did it, it might be with some legal grounds, that I think.
Did you see senior officer State and officer Nero found anything else beside the phones when they searched on the car?
Oh yeah, there were so many packages with I don't recall exactly what was that, but there were some packets which they found out from the trunk of the car.
Did you see senior officer Strait get consent to unlock the phone from Eltra Parker?
I do not exactly recall how the consent was asked, but as far as I remember, Eltra Parker got the phone, she unlocked it and gave back to senior officer Strait, and they were discussing something. So there might be the conversation of consent or.
Thank you, Mr. Ski Bachman. Your Honor, that would be all for the re-examination. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, prosecutor number 2. Now we will have a 10 minutes for a break, and then we will resume with the examination of the defense witness. The break start now.
Fair trial.
Exclusionary hearing.
Constitution.
The roadside stop.
Police power.
The electronic scale.
The law. Examination in chief.
The system.
Drug trade.
Witnesses. The fact. Risk search.
Case theory. The search of the car.
cross-examination,
to re-examine its witness,
legality in the collection of the evidence,
closing argument,
balance of probabilities,
defendant.
What is an evidence exclusionary hearing?
The evidence should not be let in.
As a lawyer, you have to be clear about what the case theory is. We're looking at the facts and we're looking at what, who, when, where, and why? And then finally, are there any weaknesses in our case theory? We've got to be very careful to remember that there might be weaknesses and think about how we're going to deal with those.
An opening statement
to frame the legal and factual issues.
Your Honor, on 1st March 2023, Senior Officer Strait was in charge of the checkpoint established at Pacific Avenue. The checkpoint was being established because the Zaltano police had received information from some reliable sources that drug trafficking is being carried out on Pacific Avenue and Esther Road.
Eventually, the court will learn that he was stopped wrongfully at the checkpoint.
You're going to make a decision that has huge consequences, both for that person, but also maybe for the wider community. One of the things that rules of evidence does is that it makes sure that when you make that decision, you make it with the best evidence. And when I mean the best, I mean the most reliable, the most accurate, that it's based upon logic rather than any kind of emotional response.
And evidence in chief comes when you're calling the witness, when it's your witness, and cross-examination then comes when it's your opponent's witness. So your opponent has called the witness, your opponent has led the evidence in chief from that witness, and then they sit down and then it's your turn to stand up and you then cross-examine. During re-examination, is it permitted to ask your witness questions about new areas of your case which were not asked during either chief examination or cross-examination? So based on everything we've just said about that, does anybody want to say that you are allowed to do that? Anybody want to say that you are? So a few people hazarded a guess that perhaps you are, but I think it's probably pretty clear. I think it's probably pretty clear that the answer to that is no, you're not.
You know, so if you don't need it, don't do it. But like what Judge Stewart says, but if you're going to do it, be careful. But it is an opportunity to give your witness the chance to explain something that on cross they may have just allowed your witness to answer yes or no. But just be careful. You don't need it, don't use it.
Your Honor, in the process of hearing, the prosecution will prove that all the evidence and statements that were obtained in the checkpoint from the defendant were obtained in accordance with all the relevant Jaltanu laws.
The defense request to the Honorable Court that the evidence collected and forwarded by the prosecution be inadmissible.
Okay. This is the important. In a whole, we can say that both the understanding of the case, fact, and the way of presentations, the way of skill to present those information is equally important.
I would like to call first witness, Senior Officer Strait.
Senior Officer Strait, please take you all.
I will tell the truth, the whole truth, and not more than the truth.
You may proceed.
Senior Officer Strait, blah blah blah.
Blah blah blah.
Senior Officer Strait, blah blah blah.
Blah blah blah.
Senior Officer Strait, blah blah blah.
Blah blah blah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Now will be the turn for the defense counsel to examine their witness. The defense counsel team, are you ready?
Yes, we are ready, Your Honor.
Please call your first witness.
So I like to call Eltra Parker as my first witness.
Thank you. Please put Eltra Parker to the stand.
Eltra Parker, please stand up. Raise your right hand. Do you promise that the testimony you give in this case before the court will be shall be truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
To tell the truth, the whole truth, and not the truth. Thank you, Mrs. Parker. Defense counsel, you can now proceed to chief examine your witness.
Hello. Miss, we all will like to know your name, please. Please tell us your name.
Eltra Parker.
So now moving forward, please tell me about yourself, like your job and your studies.
Yeah, I am 28 years old, and I'm studying in chemical engineering student full time. And I'm working at the PDB company as a delivery man in part-time job. And I live with my partner Dan Carrier in the Zadado.
Okay, so what were you doing on 1st of March 2000? Yes.
Yeah, on the 1st March of 2023, I'm with Dan Carey. We are in the morning, we go to my PDB company to pick up the package, and I'm attending the meeting with my boss to learn about the list of the delivery. And then I got the delivery, I got the list of delivery, and I'm start my job. Yeah, in my delivery way, on the Pacific Avenue, the police pull over me on the traffic checkpoint, but there is no sign. I don't know this is the checkpoint or not or something, but the police all pull over me.
So what did you see when you were stopped by the officer?
Yeah, the police pull over me, and I didn't see anything. I saw only the officer straight, and there is no sign. Yeah, like this is a checkpoint, or maybe this is no significant.
So how did you respond to officers stopping you?
Yeah, one officer stopped me. Yeah, I'm slowly down and passed it to this, and the police stopped. And he asked me. No, he introduced me. He is Officer Straight, and this is the routine checkpoint. And then he asked me, where are you going to ahead? And I said, I'm a delivery man of the PDB, and we are on the delivery run.
So what else were you asked? Can you please brief about that?
You mean, can you question to me again?
Yeah, can you please brief me about what else did officer asked and how you responded?
Yeah, the officer asked me, where are you to ahead today? And I respond, I am delivery man. I'm working for the PDB company. Yeah, after that, Officer Straight was coaching up and down to the looking through my car. Yeah, this made me nervous. Yeah, you know, the police officer stopped me. There's no sign, and then they start checkpoint, and then he looking throughout my car. I'm really understand that situation. That I feel, oh, what happened? And I'm scared. I feel scared, and I feel nervous. And then Officer Straight asked me for my identification, and I give him my driver license. After that, Officer Strait again leaned over and stuck his head through the window and looking through the car again. And then he immediately told me to set up the car and visible your hand to be visible.
So yeah, I totally get how you would be feeling right at the moment. So how did you responded to Officer Strait's questioning or the way he was conducting the search?
He said to set up the car. So I respond him, do I need a lawyer or how can I get one? Because the police doing something worse, I think, and there is no reason to set up both of us to the car, and I don't know what he want to do, and that's why I talk about him. Do I need a lawyer or how can I get one now? But the police officer ignored my word, and he want to do what he wants, and I set up the car. Then I set up the car without saying anything.
Moving further, what else were you asked by Senior Officer Strait? Like you just told he was looking through the car. What else was he doing?
And after that, you mean after that? After that, me and Dane Gary stood on the sidewalk, and then Officer Strait asked me he could conduct research to us, and he called his assistant Officer Nero. I'm really freaking that situation. The police of what the police, I have no idea what the police officer did, and now he talk about he want to research to me. I thought I told to the police officer, yeah, you have no right to do like that. This is that the police, I think the police using their power, the police using beyond their power, and they want to search my body. This is my privacy. And then I'm trying, but the police didn't listen my word, so I claim myself, and I search my stress ball because I feel now that I need my stress ball.
Okay, so except for your personal search, a frisk search, did he conducted any other search or?
Yeah. He told me that the police officer assaulted me of concealing a weapon. This is so meaningless. I have no weapon and I didn't hide anything, and I have anything about the reasonable suspect on me and on my car. But the police officer talked about that and he did the research, and then after that, Officer Strait pushed me against to my car, and he conducted a pat down, searching for my shoulder to the left. I'm really uncomfortable with this situation. He's searching all of my body, and the police didn't listen my words. After that, the police officer pulled out a small electronic scales and the stress ball. The stress ball is mine, and also the electronic scale is mine. These electronic scales are necessary used for my chemical engineering degree. We often go into the lab and we study about the chemical, and at that time we measure lots of different chemicals. That's why I'm taking this scale. But the police officer said he will need to be confiscated the skill. I don't know why. This is just a skill for using my study.
Yeah, so I want you to tell me more about, like, apart from your personal search, what else did he do?
I refused him, but he forcibly to search my body.
So was there any other search conducted, like car search or?
after that, Officer Strait searching the precise to my body. After that, Officer Strait questioned me with the aggressive tone. What are you hiding in the package of the car? And what are you hiding in your person? Do you have any illegal thing in your car? Yeah, I don't know why he asking like that. I respond him, I am only a delivery man and I don't know what's inside in this package. I really don't understand what the police talking about and why he's so angry. And then he also questioned about the relationships of me and Jane Carey. Me and Jane Carey were the same gender. So I think he doesn't like it or maybe something.
So did he found something in your car?
Yeah, and then he asked me like that and he want to search my car. This police is really beyond the boundary. Yeah. Firstly, he stopped me with the no sign checkpoint, and then he want to search my body because of the assault with the weapon. And then after that, they want to search my car. There's no weapon in my body, and also Dane Carey. We have no any dangerous weapon that the police again said about. They want to search the car, and then they searched the car. And me and Jane Carey didn't exactly know what are they doing because we are in front of the car and they searching all the tent and yeah, they searching all the everything in the car, also a glove compartment, and they found 2 mobile phones.
Okay, so they got 2 mobile phones. So what did they do with that?
Yeah, 2 mobile phones. Officer Stray give the one to the Officer Nero to maybe to start it or something. Detective or yeah, the one phone that's definitely Officer Nero is my old phone, and I didn't use it very well, and I kept it in my car for as the spare phone. And the other phone that's taken by the Officer Stray is my company phone. This phone is from PDB, and they give me the pin of the phone. But this is only used to answer the call from the company, not for personnel and not for anything about it. It is only for the work.
Okay. Yeah,
and
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eltra. We'll conclude with our chief examination. Thank you.
Yes. And then he came.
Eltra, we are done with our chief examination questions. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, defense counsel. Prosecutor, do you want to cross-examine the witness?
We would, Your Honor.
Okay, please proceed.
Okay. Ms. Parker, you live with your partner, Dan Carrier, correct?
Excuse me.
Do you know that your partner has been arrested for doing something with drugs, don't you?
I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly about that.
Okay. Ms. Parker, you say that you didn't see any sign before the checkpoint, right?
Yes, I didn't see any sign.
Okay, but it doesn't mean that there's no sign at all, correct?
No, my eyes are very good and I didn't see the sign because of the sign is not here.
Okay, but it doesn't mean that you could summarize that Officer Strait didn't put any sign, correct?
You know, I am the road user and I didn't see the sign. It's me. The police officer didn't make the sign.
But it doesn't mean that you could summarize that the police didn't put any sign, right?
The police didn't make any sign.
Okay. Ms. Parker, you've been working as delivery driver for BDP that has been under police surveillance in connection to drugs, aren't you?
I don't know about that.
Okay. Ms. Parker, didn't you need permission to bring someone who doesn't work for PDP on delivering packages?
Yes, I got a permission from the PDP and this is my own car.
Okay, so PDP didn't do anything for you to bring someone who doesn't work for them, and the person has criminals record, especially for drugs, right?
No.
You said that you don't do drugs anymore. When Officer Straight asked that time, do you?
No, I don't mean that. I mean, what are the dreads? And I don't know what about the dreads. He shot me and shot me with the dread position. So dread position. That's why I don't know about the dread.
But you said I don't do drugs anymore. So it means that you don't drugs. It means that you have been used drugs at the past, correct?
No. Maybe I'm scared and I will shout that. Maybe that's just miss. Because I was scared that time.
Okay, but why you said I don't do drugs anymore?
I told you, a lawyer. I don't know about the dread, and maybe that's why I'm scared, and I will be shouted with the like I'm not dread that they heard about. Oh, she do not dread anymore like that.
Okay. Next question. So on 1st March 2023, you didn't have any class to attend, correct?
Yes.
So it's not really necessary to bring the scale, right?
No. This is my jacket, and I didn't washing my jacket, and I put it in the cupboard, and I wearing on this morning. So that scale is taken already here that. I don't know this is here or not.
What scale are you gonna use for that day?
Excuse me.
What scale are you gonna use for that day?
The scale is my chemical engineering study.
But you said you didn't have any class to attend that day.
Yes, office prosecutor. I have no class on that day. But in the other day, I have a class. I'm wearing that jacket also, and I didn't wash to this jacket, and I sit in the curtain. And today I'm got to wear it. That's why it was in that.
Okay, you were reaching your pocket at that time, right? Before the scale is found.
I can clearly hear.
You were reaching your pocket at that time, right? Before the scale
Yes.
is found. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you know that in your car there are some bags, envelope, and money, also some packages, right?
You mean the bed and the package in my car? You mean? Like,
Yeah, you know it, right?
Yes, I take it from the PDP company.
Okay. You said that you're handed the daily list of deliveries, correct?
Excuse me.
You said that you're handed the daily list of deliveries, correct?
No.
But you said that you have a list of deliveries in daily day.
I took that package from the PDP this morning. This morning.
You brought 2 mobile phones and you put it inside your vehicle, correct?
The pin of the ball.
2 mobile phones. You bring.
Yeah, 2 mobile phone. Yeah, 2 mobile phone I bring in my car.
Okay, one is not locked and one phone is with the passcode, right?
Yes.
Okay. You said that phone was locked and belonged to the company PDP, correct?
Yes, the one is from my company.
Yeah, but you know the passcode, right?
Yes, they give it to me.
Okay. Miss Parker, you know the passcode, so you gave that when the police asks about it, correct?
Yes, the police demanded to open it.
Yeah. At the end, you did give the passcode, right?
Yeah, of course. I can't try. You know, the police forcibly me to open it. I have no choice.
Yeah, but you did, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, okay. That's all for us. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you, prosecutor. Defense counsel, do you want to re-examine your witness?
Yes, Your Honor. So first, I would like to have an objection where I want to point out that a prosecution talking about Diane being a drug dealer, like previously, is a mere speculation. And yeah, and I would now like to proceed to my question. Eltra?
Defense counsel, when you make the objection, you have to make it right after she raised the comment or question. You don't make it after she already completed her part.
Yeah, okay, sorry. I should have done that before. Thank you.
Okay, so please proceed with your re-examination.
Yeah. So, Eltra, reaching your pocket, can you please brief us about that since prosecution asked the question?
Yes. At the time, I told about in the chief examination that police contacted me and they searched me and they searched my body. They want to search my body. I feel very nervous. I have a habit to do is if I feel really nervous, I'm holding my strap ball like that's why I took out my strap ball in my pocket.
And another question prosecution just posed was about the baggie in your car trunk. So were the packages loaded by you that day?
Yeah, that package is loaded by the company. I am not concerned with this package. I am just delivering and I am just collecting the money.
Okay, thank you so much. This is it for the examination question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, defense counsel. And do you want to call your second witness?
Yes, I would like to call the second witness, Diane Carrier.
Please put Dan Carrier in like to the stand. Sorry.
Dan Carrier, please stand up. Raise your right hand. Do you promise that the testimony you shall give in this case before the court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I promise that the testimony that I will be giving in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
You can sit.
Thank you.
Thank you, Missy Carrier. Defense counsel, you can now proceed with the examination in chief of your witness.
So, hello. Please, can I get your name, please?
My name is Dane Carrier.
Okay, so please introduce me about yourself. And yeah.
My name is Dane Carrier. I'm 24 years old and I'm currently unemployed while although I am currently looking for employment. And I have been in relationship with Eltra Parker for the last 2 years. And sometimes I help Eltra Parker with the deliveries and I love to go to parties as well.
So why were you accompanying Eltra on 1st of March 2023?
On 1st March 2023, I was accompanying Eltra Parker because we had plans to go to a party after making delivery. So I was giving a hand to Eltra Parker so her duty could be completed in a shorter period of time.
Okay, so can you please brief me about how you moved on, like with the deliveries, and which route did you take?
We took the route of Pacific Avenue and Astor Road.
Can you please brief me about what happened when you reached there?
On 1st March 2023, while we were both in the car and we were moving across the Pacific Avenue, a police officer stopped us that I soon after recognized to be senior officer straight from a previous arrest. And he asked us to stop our car. And we were just so nervous. We became so nervous that why is he asking us to stop the car? Because we have not committed any crime or we have not done any traffic violation. So, I mean, we couldn't understand because we were not being asked by police officers to stop very often on the checkpoints. And also I couldn't see any signage for the checkpoint as well. That made me also nervous and confused.
Yeah. So what else did Senior Officer Straight do after approaching you guys?
After approaching us, Senior Officer Straight introduced himself and told us that it is a routine police checkpoint stop and where are we two heading today? So Eltra Parker responded to it by saying that we are on a delivery run, but Officer Straight said to our surprise that we should just get out of the car and we need to search the vehicle. But we were so confused that why do we want to conduct this search of the vehicle and all those stuff, because we had not committed any crime or we have not violated any traffic rules. So it was very confusing for us, but Eltra Parker asked Senior Officer Straight that can I get a lawyer? But Senior Officer Straight just ignored him and asked him and insisted him to come out of the car. And so we just complied with him and we came out of the car and we just stood on the sidewalk. But after that, as I could see that Eltra Parker became nervous and she just began to search for she just began to search her pocket for the stress ball, and she usually kept that stress ball in her pocket because she had some stress problems and she had some anxiety problems. So it was very normal for her to carry that stress ball with her. But Officer Straight considered that thing to be suspicious, and he just pushed Eltra Parker violently and pushed her and just placed her to the vehicle. And we were just shocked that what is he doing? He was so aggressive, he was talking so loudly, and we couldn't just do anything. We just had to comply with him. He said that I have to conduct a frisk search on you. You might be carrying some weapon with you. So we just complied with him. And when he conducted the frisk search, he found a stress ball at the place where Eltra Parker was searching for the stress ball. So he should not have continued the frisk search after that, but he continued the frisk search. And after that, he found an electronic scale from the jacket of Eltra Parker. But the thing is that that electronic scale is being used by Eltra Parker for her chemical engineering degree. And it was very normal for chemical engineering degree students to carry that electronic scale with them. So then Officer Straight just asked that told us that he has to confiscate this electronic scale. And we were just like, okay, what else could we do? So that's what happened when he approached us.
So the Senior Officer Straight just conducted your personal search, like frisk search?
Yes.
Or was there any other search being conducted?
Yes, Officer Straight did not only conducted that frisk search, but he also conducted the search of the vehicle. And we were just surprised that he didn't find anything violent or anything which was a weapon or something which was against the law from the frisk search. But even then, he conducted the search of the vehicle. So we were like, what is he doing? But we just complied with him. We just said, okay, if you are doing it, so let's just comply with him. So he just started the search of the vehicle. They spent some time in the backside of the searching the backside of the vehicle, but they spent a lot of time searching the trunk of the car. And to my surprise, and I was shocked when Senior Officer Strait gave Officer Nero a black bag and a self-seal baggie containing a white powder. I was just shocked that what is it? So that happened, and after that, Senior Officer Strait moved to the front seat of the vehicle, and then he conducted the search of the glove compartment of the vehicle. And in the glove compartment of the vehicle, he found two phones. One of the phones was an old phone that belonged to me, and the other phone belonged to PDP. And the PDP's phone was locked. So Senior Officer Strait gave one of the phones to Officer Nero, and the other phone he just kept with him. Officer Nero couldn't find anything important in my phone, and when Senior Officer Strait found that the PDP's phone need a passcode, then he approached me and asked me that please give the passcode. But then I said that this phone doesn't belong to me, and this phone belongs to PDP. Do you have so I couldn't open it without the permission of the PDP. But he insisted me to do so, and he said that you should do it if you have nothing to hide. So I just complied with him, and I just opened the phone.
Yeah. So Diane, I would like you to conclude your statement by what Officer Strait, after conducting your car search and frisk search, what did he say or what did he tell?
After conducting the search of the car, he said to Eltra Parker and me that we are under arrest, and he just placed us into the car and we were brought to the police station. And however, during all this, Eltra Parker was yelling out that, what are you talking about? I don't do drugs anymore. And I don't even know what are in the packages, but you are saying that I'm doing drugs. I don't do drugs. But he didn't listen to it. He just brought us to the police station and asked me to wait. And after about 30 minutes, they asked me to leave. But Eltra Parker was still there in the police station.
Okay. Thank you so much. This is it for the from the side of defense lawyer for the chief examination question. Thank you.
Thank you, defense counsel. Prosecutor, do you want to cross-examine witness Dan Carrier?
Yes, Your Honor. The prosecution would like to do the cross-examination on Dan Carrier.
Please proceed.
Dan Carrier, where were you at the 9 a.m. in the morning on 1st March 2023? Where were you?
I was with Eltra Parker in the office of PDP, and I was there with him.
Were you in the car with Eltra Parker at the PDP, right?
Can you please repeat it?
Were you in the car already at the were you already in the car at the PDP company, right?
Yes, I was in the car.
Were you commit drug before?
Yes, I was being convicted for drug crime before.
What did you do in sorry? Did you discussing about the party in the car during, right?
Can you please repeat that?
And you
objection, Your Honor.
Discuss party in the car, right, during the driving?
Sorry, defense counsel.
Yeah. So at first, they are pinpointing the character of the witness by pointing that he was a previous convict. And then secondly, the prosecution in cross-examination cannot ask, like, discuss this point. They are to ask a yes or no question. Thank you.
Prosecutor, do you want to address the objection from defense lawyer? I mean, do you want to respond to the objection from defense lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor. My question is that I would like to know if the Dan Courier and Eltra Parker has discussion in the car by party or not during their driving on the way of delivery.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that question, Chief Judge. Can the prosecutor rephrase that?
What is your question to the witness?
What did you do to play the game in the car? Dan Courier, didn't you play the game in the car? I mean on the mobile phone.
Played a game?
Sorry, Missy Carrier.
Did you play the game in the car during driving?
Missy Carrier, just don't respond to the prosecutor question. We want to see if this question is subject to objection or not. So so the defense lawyer, is that the question that you want to raise the objection?
No, I was just raising the question on the fact that they were the prosecution has raised the question on the bad character or the character of my witness. And secondly, the prosecution was asking now, which they have rephrased their question. Initially, they were asking like to discuss about something like in cross-examination, the prosecution is to ask just a yes or no question. That's it. Thank you so much.
The objection is overruled. Prosecutor, please continue.
Chief Judge, don't you want to discuss this with your panel of judges?
Sure. So do we need to do it in front of all the
Yes, that's
side?
the learning experience. That's the point. That's the learning experience. You do it in front so they watch how you decide the answer. Yes.
So Anon, do you want to like give your observation, like what you will decide in this case, overrule or sustain?
I'm not sure, Chief Judge. In terms of whether they can ask questions outside of yes or no, I don't think there's a restriction to that. It's just really whether whether the cross-examining counsel is willing to take the risk of the witness saying whatever he wants. So I don't think there's an objection that I would allow.
I'm of the same opinion as Judge Arnold. I think that a simple yes and no, objection is not valid. Objecting that they should just answer yes or no is not valid. And I think there is, I'm sure during the training that there is a methodology, right, that you all have gone through about yes and no during examination. It's not like a rule that it has to be yes or no. Maybe somebody else who's like a criminal defense expert can just, elaborate on that.
And I would like to also highlight my second objection that was on the character of the witness.
Sorry,
With-
sorry. Yeah, I am. So let me hear from Jenny first. Jenny.
I echo with the point made by Arnold and Mariam that I also think that the cross examination is not necessarily to be answered by yes or no, but as for the objection concerning the character of the witness, I also share the same concerns. But I mean, like I also would like to hear the opinions from other judges.
Chang. Is it Chang?
Yeah, I share the same opinion, and I think like it's not necessary like here to ask all that type of questions in this trial. Yeah.
So defense lawyer, so you raised two objections. The first objection is about the question, like the style of the question that prosecutor put toward your witness, and you said like during the cross examination the prosecutor can only raise the question that offer yes or no answer from the witness. What I am not clear about which rule you are based upon, because we understand that the only rule apply will be applied to the examination in chief. And you cannot put the leading question in examination in chief. But for the cross examination is the style of each lawyer or each prosecutor that they want to employ. What kind of like question they want to invite the answer or the response from the witness, and not necessarily that they must or they are obliged to put the question requiring yes or no answer from the witness. For the second objection, that is the objection about the character, the objection about judgment or observation about the character of the witness. Actually, like this is the second objection that I have not heard from the other judge first, so I will like go through one more round and ask the other judge about their opinion on this objection. So Arnaud.
Thanks, Chief Judge. My opinion is that the character evidence is not that big of an issue. Only because currently we're talking about the evidentiary part of the hearing, not the hearing for the crime itself. So I think the character evidence goes more towards what the officer thought. So I'm inclined to say that the character evidence is not much of an issue. I would overrule the objection.
Miriam.
On mute, yes. Okay. I think, when we're talking about character evidence, I think there are two important questions to be asked. Firstly, if the character of the person is relevant, and if it's relevant, under what circumstances they become so relevant. The second question to be asked is when such character becomes relevant and how it is to be proved. But this, again, I go back to, this is not very important when we're talking about evidentiary, when we're talking about exclusion of evidence in this particular hearing. So I would also overrule it.
Thank you, Maria. Jenny?
Yes, same here.
Jenny, your opinion about the objection from the defense counsel on the ground of comment on character?
Yes, yes. I just said said that. So my opinion is basically the same as the views shared by the former two judges, because I think that we're talking about like the previous like criminal records of one of the witness, and I think like because the witness is also like accompanied the other like on that vehicle, so I think that might be just like also relevant to like so as to determine so whether there is a valid grounds for the police to do the search. So I think that is potentially might be relevant here. Yeah.
So you will overrule or you will sustain the objection?
Overrule, sorry.
Yeah. Chang?
Yeah, so from my side, overrule as well, because like based on the relevance on the question and then the information that the prosecutor just shared. So I think from my side, it should be overruled in this case.
So actually, like the question that I heard from the prosecutor is that do you discard? I am not sure. Like you asked, like discard something, or you said like discard certain thing with Mr. Elcha Parker during the driving, and then the next question you asked him is like, did you play a game on the phone that later on was collected by the two officer? And I think this question, without any further elaboration, does not sound like a comment on the characteristic or the bad character of the witness. So I would want to overrule the objection and then listen more to the question of the prosecutor. Defense counsel, do you have any comment? Go ahead.
Yeah, as for talking about like playing game on the phone, this could go into like I was about to raise this objection like after listening to your worthy comments on the bad character, and that point that this could be taken into the objection of relevance. Like this question, like asking that were you playing game while you were in the car, I think this is not relevant here.
So you basically like recharacterize your objection, right?
Yeah, but I think this objection is valid according to what I have learned. Like this question, like playing game, were you playing the game? I think this was this could be categorized.
Judges, if the judges, can you please ask what the objection is? This is not a class. This is a courtroom hearing. Okay, what is the objection? If there's a different objection and the question is going to be asked, then they could put that forward. Okay, but
I think we didn't allow the question of the prosecutor on the game. I think that was overruled.
Then the hearing should proceed. We're not here to have an open discussion about evidence.
Yeah.
We can do that during the debrief. That's fine, but not during the hearing.
So after deliberation, we decided to overrule the objection from the defense counsel. Prosecutor, please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Miss Dan, was you play in game and listen to loud music with L. Parker in the car during the delivery?
No.
Now just wait. I'm just going to stop. Now, if the defense counsel wants to make an objection to relevance, it's a different question. Okay, now we can go forward, just letting them know, but that wasn't put forward. Okay. Now the defense counsel can make an objection because it's a different question. The hearing has proceeded.
Yeah. This is what I was talking about earlier, because a prosecutor raised this
Counsel,
point.
make your objection.
Yeah, I would like to make objection of relevance here.
Judge Ming, you're on mute.
Sorry, defense counsel, please elaborate your objection.
Yeah, my objection is on the relevance of
I understand, but why it's not relevant based on your opinion? Why the question from the prosecutor is not relevant?
Yeah, this is so because like they were driving on the road with no other like distractions. So I think this is not a question to be asked, or this is not relevant to me, to the defense.
So prosecutor, please explain why you raise a question. What is your purpose to raise a question?
My question is that I would like to know if they follow the traffic law or not. First one, this is related to why the officer straight directed the car into the checkpoint. And moreover, they may be related to their attitude of playing game. Otherwise, they may be careless in driving and make other accident also. So this is what my concern. And moreover, it's related to whether if they are playing game and listen to music or just talking about a party, so they cannot they could not concentrate on driving the delivery, and then they can notice any signage on the road that the senior officer straight put on. This is what my point that I want to know.
Thank you, prosecutor. Understood. So objection overruled. I think it is relevant based on the purpose of the prosecutor.
Chief Judge, can you please consult with your other judges?
Okay, we do.
Chief Justice Min, I think we did overrule that question of the prosecution that it was not relevant to what we are, discussing. I don't know. Do you concur, Justice Arnold? I think we did say that, right?
No, we did not. We overruled two objections about the ground of bad character and the ground of leading question, something like that, but not about this one. This one is new one.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the completely new. So we overruled two other type question, not this one.
Yeah. So okay, we go another round of conflicting opinion from the fellow judge. So Ano.
I think I'm inclined to just allow it for now, and we'll just decide on the relevance as we go along. I don't think it's helpful for defense counsel to point relevance too often here, because we'll get nowhere. So maybe we can just take counsel's objection, and then we'll consider the relevance as we continue this hearing.
Miriam.
I think the prosecution's question is not relevant for the, and I concur with the defense's objection to that. I think that what we are looking here is a completely different, on exclusionary of evidence. And so, I think that it's irrelevant.
I will make my comment by the end after all of you share your opinion. So Jenny.
I incline to view that I think the prosecutor's question is relevant here, because I think the question is about like why the officer stopped the car and why he would like to do the search. So I think this is indeed relevant here. Yeah.
From my side, I don't think like it's most relevant, and somehow like it when the prosecutor like make a question, it have too long and give many detail because come directly to the question. So to me, like it's not, it's not too relevant to this. So we can take consider the objections from the defense lawyer in this case.
So from my view, right, when the prosecutor said that he wants to raise this question to demonstrate why the police officer stopped the car and why they why Mr. L. Parker and then carrier cannot see the signage, could not see the signage, then I see that this question is relevant. When he put like whether you listen to music, whether you play the game in the car. So I see that these questions are relevant to verify the fact of what is the state of mind of this driver at the time that the car was stopped. So from my view, these questions are relevant and should be allowed. Of course, we, as the fellow judge Arnold said, we can take into account the defense lawyer's objection, but not sustain the objection. But in the meantime, by taking into account the defense lawyer objection, I will remind the prosecutor to be tried to direct to the point and not like put so many questions just to demonstrate one small point in your case, because remember that you have a time limit. So Bruce, any comment?
I've just dropped my comments in the chat, but it's definitely relevant because if they listen to music, they potentially aren't seeing signs.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's it. They say there are no signs. Officer Strait says I put up signs. It's who you believe. And if they're listening to music, maybe that's the reason they didn't see signs. It's 100% relevant.
Yeah. So objection is overruled. Prosecutor, please go ahead to your next question, but be concise and direct to the point. Thank you.
I think the witness has to answer the question.
Sorry.
And not go to the next question. I think he needs to get to ask the question and see what the witness answers.
Yeah, the witness, please answer the prosecutor question.
No, we were not listening to music or we were not playing games on the phone.
Okay. Did you see coffee shop on the Pacific Avenue?
Yes.
Does it have a traffic light on the corner of Astor Road?
Did you see what?
Traffic light.
Yes.
Okay. I would like to know, I'm your employee, right? After release from the arrest.
Mr. Peter, Mr. Prosecutor, your voice is not clear.
Were you unemployed?
Yes.
I mean, what your job is? Are you employed?
I'm unemployed.
Are you in relationship with Parker, correct?
Yes, we have been in a relationship with, I have been in a relationship with Delta Parker for the past 2 years.
And you love her?
Yes.
So it means that you just be has fake relationship with Ultra Parker to do a trade deal, the dangerous trade with them, because you know that the Ultra Parker is from the wealthy family and has the power to that. So you think that don't have any officer to touch them or threaten you. So you has only one way to try to connect or make a fake relationship with Ultra Parker, right?
No, that's not correct.
Okay. And you still and do you still consuming the drug currently?
Can you please repeat the question?
Do you consuming drug currently?
No. I didn't consume any drug.
And you notice any cocaine in the car?
Prosecutor, your voice is not clear.
And
Can you please be a little louder?
And you notice there is a cocaine in the Ultra Parker car?
No.
Do you see any cigarettes and rolling paper such as open envelope in the car when you were sitting?
Yes, and I think it's normal to have cigarette, and it's not something like a very poisonous drug, and it's not like something which is prohibited by the law to have. So I think it was normal.
Because Officer State found that because the material is to make the drug, and he also found the cocaine in the car. So it can be defined that you both did the drug trafficking, because the material is used for the traffic or for the drug dealer, such as rolling paper, cigarettes, envelopes, and electronic scale also. And moreover, the officer state found the cocaine 1 kilogram in the car. Is that correct?
Yes, he found 1 kilogram cocaine in the car.
Correct, right?
Prosecutor, she already answered yes. So please proceed to your next question.
Then did you saw Ultra Parker give the passcode to the officer straight?
Ultra Parker giving what to Officer Strait?
Passcode on the phone.
Yes, I saw that. But it was without Ultra Parker's consent.
When police did the car search, you and Ultra Parker do any protest or any bad behavior to the police officer?
No, that's not correct. We were just nervous and we were a bit confused, but we didn't behave badly to Officer Strait, and we just
Did you
complied with whatever Officer Strait said.
Did you hear Officer Strait say that Mr. Ultra Parker had the right for a lawyer or keeping silent?
No, I didn't hear that.
And you next to the Ultra Parker at that time?
Can you please repeat that?
That's all for our question. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, prosecutor. Defense counsel, do you want to re-examine the witness?
No, thank you. This is all, like, I have asked everything. Thank you.
Thank you, defense counsel. Do you want to call for your final witness? Defense counsel, do you want to call for your final witness?
Yes, we would, Your Honor.
Please go ahead to put your final witness to the stand.
Okay, we would like to call the final witness from the defense, Mr. Bachakale.
Yes, I am here.
Banjakil, please stand up.
Babsi team, please put the defense counsel number 2, I think. Defense counsel number 2, right? On the screen. We did not see him. Okay, here we are. Okay. Please proceed. The clerks, sorry.
Banjakil, please stand up. Raise your right hand. Do you promise that the testimony you shall give in the court shall be the truth, whole truth, and just the truth?
Yes.
You may sit down.
Defense counsel, you can now do the examination in chief of your witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. So, Mr. Bachakale, can you please tell us about who you are?
My name is Banjakil. I am 42 years old, and I work as a waiter at Z Burgers.
Okay, so can you tell us about what happened during the 1st of March on the day of the stop?
On the first day of March, well, I wasn't really sure as to what date it was. I think I'm not so sure whether if it was really on the first day of March. But I was at work, and then I was cleaning the tables outside the restaurant where I am working at Z Burgers. And while I was cleaning the tables, I saw outside on the street outside that there was a car that was stopped at a checkpoint.
Okay, so can you please tell us at what time did you arrive to work?
I think I arrived at work at sometime at around 9 in the morning. That's the usual time that I clock in for work.
So can you recall at what time did the police set up your checkpoint?
Yeah, so back then at 9 a.m. I just arrived at work, and then I was trying to do some chores inside the restaurant. I was drinking coffee, and then at around 10 in the morning, I noticed that the police were putting up a checkpoint on that area just near our restaurant.
Okay, so can you describe any signs that if you've seen during the trip to work, if you've seen any, that is?
Well, I just remember that there was a checkpoint that was established, that was put up by some police officers, because the restaurant where I am working at, it's just directly opposite from where they where they placed the checkpoint.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Banchakil. So what did you remember seeing during the stop?
Oh, during that time, I saw two people inside the car. They were stopped by, I think, one officer. I think the officer was Senior Officer Straight. Now I recall because I saw his face on the gallery, and then it appeared that Officer Straight was looking, or rather was looking at the vehicle from the outside, and then he was talking to the people inside the car.
Okay, can you describe what did you saw during the frisk? At the point the two people was exiting the car. So can you describe to us what did you see during that point on the frisk?
Yes. During that time, I saw the officer was tapping the body of one of the persons. I think it was the one whose name was Parker. And then during that time, I think the other officer, I saw one other officer coming to the area, because there's just the officer Straight and the two people from the car, and then the other officer went to that area, and then I think they were able to find an item. I was not sure what it was, but I noticed that the officer, I think that was Officer Straight, who was able to he was holding something, I think from the patting that he did during that time.
Okay, thank you. So where were you standing during this whole thing happening?
I was just outside the restaurant where I was working at, so I was really close, but not that close, because the avenue is big. But I was close enough to see what was going on in the area. The restaurant was just across the checkpoint.
Okay, so during the stop, can you remember if there was any other person outside of the car?
During that time, I only saw the Senior Officer Straight. When the stop was done, I think he was talking to the people in the car during that time.
Okay, so can you tell us more about Ziggy Bagman?
Oh yeah, that guy. Oh yeah, I remember. There was that guy, that homeless guy that we always give food. He was there standing. I don't know what he was doing there. I don't know, maybe he was trying to steal something because he's homeless. I don't know.
Whoa. Let's not accuse of anything to
Oh,
Mr.
I'm
Ziggy.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm just reminding you. Okay, so did you see Ziggy? Where did you see him stand during the stop?
He was very close to the officer and the people. He was close, standing near the car. I don't know what he was doing there. Maybe he was interested in the car. I don't know. But he was standing next to the car, but very, very close to the police officer. I don't know why he did that. It's scary to be standing near the police officer if something is going on in the checkpoint.
Okay. So sorry. So can you please describe to us how far was Ziggy standing from the car?
Oh, very, very close. Like few meters away, very, very, very close. I tell you, I don't know what he was doing there. Very, very close, just like 1, 2, something like that. 2 meters, 3 meters away from the car. Very, very close. You don't stand in the checkpoint when you don't have any business, because you don't know what's going to happen.
Okay, Mr. Banchakil, thank you for your statement. It has been very helpful for us. And thank you, Your Honor. We don't have any further questions.
Thank you, defense counsel. Prosecutor, do you want to cross-examine the witness, Mr. Ben Chakel?
Yes, Your Honor, the prosecutor would like to do cross-examination on Ben Chakel.
Please proceed.
Ben Chakel, you work from 11, right?
I'm sorry,
work.
what did you say? I work from 11?
Do you start to work from 11 a.m., right?
No. I said I went to work at 9 a.m.
Do you have many incoming customer in the burger restaurant?
During the
Yes. At the morning.
I don't remember because I was outside and I was the one doing the cleaning of the tables because we were just opening during that time. I think there were no customers yet because I was still drinking my coffee.
Don't you start work by notice the car was directed to the checkpoint?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Didn't you work while the car was directed to the checkpoint?
Oh yes, I was working when the car was called by the officer. Because I was in the restaurant. If I was not in the restaurant, then I will not be paid by my boss. I will not have money.
Didn't you have any problem related to you, right?
What problem again?
Did you think that the car is relevant to you, right? That's why you are interested in that case.
Oh no, because I remember that was the first car that was stopped there because you know I started working at 9 a.m. right? I said that earlier, and then I saw that the checkpoint was there sometime around 10 in the morning, and then that black car, I remember the color because sometimes you know black cars are so nice, and I noticed that was the first car that was stopped during the checkpoint. Yes, I remember that. So I was interested because you know that was the first car. What was going on? You know, I was really curious.
Did you see the sign that on the road that Cindy straight set up?
Oh yes, I think I saw a sign because you know they always write that word that is called checkpoint. You know, yeah, I saw that checkpoint. I remember, even if I was you know cleaning the dishes, no tables.
So you said that the restaurant is on opposite side of road from the checking point, right?
Yes, our restaurant was directly across the checkpoint.
Were you sure that you can see them clearly from the opposite side and what happened there, right? At the checkpoint.
I saw what happened there, but if you are going to ask me what they did, I don't know. I just saw that those are the things that were happening during that time. Because, you know, our restaurant is directly across the checkpoint. Yes.
And you spend 30 minutes to observe the checkpoint?
What? I spent 30 minutes? Yes, because I was drinking coffee that time as well.
And you work while you are drinking coffee?
Oh,
during,
yes. You know, my boss is very nice. My boss is very nice. because we told our boss one time during the CBA, the collective bargaining agreement, that we need to have coffee when we work, because if there's no coffee, we'll be falling asleep at work. He would not like that, you know.
Did you see the senior officer introduce himself to the Tapaker and Korea?
I just saw that he went to the car. I don't know if he introduced himself. Do they have to?
Did you see senior officer straight carry something from the Tapaker?
Sorry, what?
Did you see senior officer straight carry out from Ultra Parker?
Sorry, I don't understand the question. Officer straight went out of the where?
Did you see senior officer straight taking something out from the...
Okay, I'm so sorry. Yes, I saw that there were something that they took from the car because they were standing at the back. They were at the back and then they went on front, and then I think they were holding something. Of course, it was not a gun, because if it was a gun, I will be scared.
And you see clearly at the time?
If I see clearly, of course I see clearly.
How far from the BMW car to your burger restaurant?
Not so far away, because it was directly across the checkpoint and the burger shop. The restaurant was just across, so not so far away.
Didn't you think that they stand on the road? That's why you can saw them clearly.
Yes, I saw them on the road because there was a checkpoint on the road. Do you mean that I was on the road? Was I standing on the road? No, I was not. I was in the restaurant.
I mean. Okay, let's proceed further. Did you saw Miss handed the phone to the officer straight?
I think yes. Yeah, I think the officer handed something. I think it was a cell phone, you know, the touch screen.
Did you see the officer patch down the Tapaker?
Yes, I saw the officer patting down, touching the body.
And you went to the truck dealer. That's why you also observe the case carefully anytime, so you know everything.
Objection, Your Honor. Objection, Your Honor.
Defense counsel, please clarify the ground for your objection.
The cause for speculation. The prosecutor was asking questions that is in no way was in the capability of Banchakil to answer. Therefore, any answer that Banchakil will give would be grounds for speculation.
Sorry, can you remind me what question that the prosecutor asked that you see as a problem?
The prosecution asked if Banchakil know if Ziggy Bagman or if Eltra Parker was a drug dealer. The question will eventually elicit a response from Banchakil that will be grounds for speculation, because there would be no way Banchakil know about that, because he's only a waiter.
Thank you, defense counsel. Prosecutor, do you want to respond to the objection from the defense counsel?
No, Your Honor. And
Good. Okay, so I will.
that would be all for our question in the cross examination, Your Honor. Thank you.
So you agree to withdraw the question that you just asked, and you don't need to wait for the answer from the witness?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, so I will do as you wish. I will sustain the objection, and the witness, you don't need to answer the question from the prosecutor. So now the defense counsel, do you want to re-examine your witness?
No, Your Honor. We would not like to re-examine. We would not.
Okay, so see. So prosecutor, are you ready to put forward your closing argument?
Prosecutor, respond to the judge.
Prosecutor, do you want? Are you ready to make a closing argument? Make a closing argument now. You are on mute. You are mute. You are still mute.
Prosecutor 1, you are mute currently.
I'm really sorry. I would transfer this role to my team member. They will conclude for this because I have to visit my mom, the hospital right now.
Yeah. So please, prosecutor 1, are you ready to make a closing arguments now? Prosecutor 1. Prosecutor 1. Hello.
Is prosecutor here?
Yeah, I saw her on the screen.
I think closing argument is a prosecutor 2. Is prosecutor 2 here?
He said that he wants the prosecutor 1 to make the closing argument.
Okay, I think it's all a bit overwhelming.
Okay. Chief Judge, that would be improper. The rules are that the prosecutor 1 does the opening and the prosecutor 2 does the closing.
Okay. Does the prosecutor 2 want a moment? Because I think it's all a bit overwhelming, right? So we can give maybe 1 or 2 minutes.
If the team has a backup for prosecutor 2, the team 2 can bring in their backup for prosecutor 2. That is acceptable, but it cannot be prosecutor 1. That's why we have backups.
Who is the backup for prosecutor 2?
Your Honor, I'll be the backup if it's necessary.
Can Babsi CLE team put her on the screen? I did not see her.
I'm sorry, I forgot to turn on my camera.
Please turn on your camera. Okay, Officer Nero. Is that allowed, Bruce? That one of the witness becomes a backup for prosecutor, which is Will.
Yeah, no, that's not allowed. We can't have a witness. It has to be someone who was not a witness or not a prosecutor in the afternoon hearing.
What is the issue with prosecutor 2? Does he need a moment to compose, or maybe his closing argument can be read by somebody else if it's prepared?
I think he said that he would like to transfer that to the closing statement to someone else, like not be shared by him.
We understand that, but the rules are that he either does it or someone else does it as a backup. And it's okay if you don't do it, but if you don't do it, you get no points. So I would suggest that somebody else on the prosecution team who was not a witness and not a prosecutor this afternoon now do the closing statement. And of course, the judges can take off points for Biak not giving a reason why he wasn't able to do this. And that's fine. That's how it is. But I would suggest somebody do it or you're going to get 0 points.
How about the collect? Can the collect do it, Bruce?
But who else is in the prosecution
They
team?
have other team members. They have other team
okay.
members that did not present this afternoon. They have other team members.
Oh, okay. So there's somebody called, I can see Rika, prosecutor. Rika,
Excuse me, can
would you
I?
like to do?
Am I audible, Your Honor? Am I audible?
Unaudible. Can you turn on your camera?
Hello? Hello?
See someone.
Am I audible?
Jasmine, you are audible.
You are the defense lawyer?
Yeah, if the defense lawyer is not present, if the prosecution is not present, I'd like to go for it because I'm not
Are you on that
lawyer
team?
or anyone. Yeah.
Are
no.
you on that? No, you have to be
Yeah,
on
I'm in the team too, but I'm
You're on
right
team
now.
two. Okay, so that's fine. You can jump in if need be, but the judges should take that into consideration when doing the scoring. Of course, you absolutely can give good feedback. And remember, this is all going to be practice anyway. But if you were doing proper scoring, you know, without a proper reason for the lawyer just dropping or the prosecutor dropping out, you know, you would really lose points. If the prosecutor dropped out because of internet, that's a different situation. So, but yeah, Jasmine, if you want to now change, if you want to jump in and do this, I think that that's fine. I think that that's fine to do. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Just to confirm that.
But if you can change your background to prosecutor rather than defense lawyer.
Actually, I don't have the prosecution one right now. So
if the Babsicle team can provide you with a background that says all the backgrounds are all together, you should be able to have all that. Yep. Or at least take off your defense lawyer background. You don't have to have a prosecutor background, but take off your defense lawyer. Okay. So why don't you, that's fine. Why don't you proceed? Okay. Judges, just take this into consideration. Okay. Oh, good.
Thank you so much.
And that's why we made the teams big. And, you know, and we sometimes in real trials, we have backups because something happens. Okay, great.
Okay. So, Your Honor, the case revolves around the motion to exclude evidence, which is unlawfully obtained. This motion is filed so as to ensure a fair trial. Your Honor, after hearing all those statements of witnesses, we can see how neglecting the procedure, the police officers of Traffic Control Unit arbitrarily conducted investigation.
Wait, Jasmine, Jasmine, you are presenting for the prosecution, not the defense.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, let's be very clear. That's why we asked, what team are you on? The prosecutor dropped out. You have to be presenting the closing argument. Are you on this team? Is she on your team, everyone?
Yeah, I'm team 2.
Okay, then you need to focus and give the correct, that's why we have you do this. You're giving, I'm sure the defense would love for you as a prosecutor to give this argument and say that they're being arbitrary. Yes. How about you give the other argument?
I'm so sorry. And okay, I'll be presenting on prosecution. Yeah, sorry for that, judges. I'm just so sorry. So, Your Honor, we as a prosecutor want to prove the evidence that we have according to facts and laws. On 1st March 2023, police officers set a checkpoint of reports of drug being along on Pacific Avenue, then directed a black BMW car and approached it. Officer Street recognized the passenger, then carrier from the previous arrest, and do introducing to driver. Uh, Elta Parker, uh, Elta Parker said that he worked on delivery run for PDP. As we know that PDP has been under police surveillance for suspected connection drugs trade. Then Officer Strait asked about the identification, about Eltra's identification, but Eltras constantly fidgeting and avoided eye contact, also refused to disclose the packages inside the trunk. So the officer needed to conduct a frisk search to prevent any dangerous weapon, and he found a trace ball that Eltras was reaching for. To make sure, the officer continued the search and found a small electronic scale, as we know, commonly used to sell the drugs. That's evidence directed the officer to do search of the car, helped with Officer Narrow. There is a package that was marked by address but no name. The white powder, which containing cocaine weighing 1 kg, also amounts of cash, was found it on there. Also, there were 2 phones that looked so suspicious, especially the one which was unlocked and had a passcode. The phone which was locked and had a passcode was found a list of names with corresponding amounts of money. Beside that, Eltras claiming that he don't do drugs anymore. So the officer arrests him for possession of a dangerous drug with intent to sell. From all evidence that we will prove that we proved here, and the witnesses, the facts we have seen, clearly points out that the investigation was valid, it was legal, and it was required for the timing so as to ensure the public safety. So therefore, the prosecution submits the evidence to be lawful, and this motion to exclude must be denied, and the evidence must be allowed to use in the trial so as to ensure the fair trial, and so as to protect the so as to ensure that these actions were for the public protection, and it is required because the condition was emergence, and at such time the police did the right thing to do, because the consequences, the result, the outcome we got from the investigation was absolutely against Eltra Parker. Therefore, the evidence shall be presented in the court. Thank you, Your Honor. That's all.
Thank you, prosecutor. Any judge has any question for the prosecutor? Because the time is not up yet, so if you have any question, please feel free to raise.
None from me.
Yeah, Jenny?
Sorry if I missed it, but I don't think that I heard like the discussion on the appropriateness of not putting a sign. I mean, like if you still have like any like additional points to make on that a particular point of the validity of conducting a check, but not putting a sign.
Okay, so
that is the question from Judge Jenny to Jasmine, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, regarding the signees, as our witness told that there was a checkpoint established and all the procedures were followed. Like if there was no signage, the checkpoint would not be there, which means that the officer had established a proper checkpoint, as Officer Strait has clearly mentioned in his witness statement and testimony.
Judge Jenny, are you satisfied with the answer?
Yes, thank you. Like, no further question from my side.
Thank you, Judge Jenny. Judge Anna.
None, no questions from me. Thanks a lot.
Judge Chang.
None from my side. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, the prosecutor. Now I will invite the defense counsel to make the closing argument.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes. Please proceed, defense counsel.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. So, Your Honor, the prosecution has mentioned that the issue at hand is the policy issue regarding how fatal drug is to our society. However, we beg to differ. It is not the issue of whether or not the drugs was found in Ultra Parker. It is instead a fundamental issue of whether or not we should set a precedence that the police can exceed the law in order to obtain evidence. Now, let us turn back the clock to when Officer Strait stated in their own statement in this particular court that the checkpoint was not had any sort of sign whatsoever. The officer did not put up a sign. So I would like to remind everyone in the court here that the Section 57 of the Zaotanu Police Powers and Responsibility Act, Alphabet D, stated that every checkpoint must have signage to warn drivers. There are 4, even 5 witnesses who already testified. Officer Strait stated in their statement that there was no sign. Officer Nero thought that Officer Strait put up a sign. However, Officer Strait herself did not put up a sign as per the statement she already made on the court. Mr. Ziggy already stated she did not see any signs. And also every single witness has already stated there was no sign. It simply means that the balance of probability suggests that when there are almost every single witness testifying that there was no sign, meaning that the checkpoint itself was not valid due to the reasons of mentioned in Section 57, Alphabet D. The second is the other part is that Ziggy Bagman was able to walk around an active checkpoint. Let me remind you, ladies and gentlemen, an active checkpoint, which is a clear disregard of procedure since he might tamper with evidence. This proves the irresponsibility of the officers, and even the fact that it is clear from the statement from Banja Kale, Ziggy Bagman was walking around in the particular car. So the next one is that the fact on the second issue, which is the frisk, it has been proven that there was no consent given by either Eltra nor Dane Carrier. I would like to remind you that both of these innocent civilians are being frisked without their consent against Section 58, Article 4, Zaotanu Police Powers and Responsibility states that a police officer may conduct a search without warrant if there is consent. Eltra, not only that she did not consent to the search, as been proven by the Officer Narrow and also Officer Strait that state there was no consent given during the frisk. Also, Schedule 6 of Zaotanu Constitution states that consent does not equal compliance. Consent does not include silence or submission or compliance. Eltra did not say anything when Officer Strait asked her to get out of the vehicle. Eltra's request for a lawyer was already ignored. The request for the lawyer signifies a refusal of compliance, yet Eltra still gets out of the vehicle to submit and comply to what Officer Strait has been requesting. Also, Eltra Parker stated prior to the frisk to Officer Strait herself, you should not have the right to do this. This signifies her refusal to give consent. However, Officer Strait clearly disregards this lack of consent and still continues with the search. Yes, we understand there was a dilemma between the fact that Eltra Parker did reach into her pocket. However, Section 29 of the Zaotanu Police Powers and Responsibility states that the police officers who reasonably suspect the commission of an offense may stop and detain a person and search the person. However, what was the offense that is being that causes Eltra Parker to be detained for? Was it the commission of offense that she might have a dangerous weapon on her possession, or was it something else? However, the fact of the matter is, Eltra Parker reached into their pocket and Officer Strait suggested that there might be dangerous weapon. However, the second Officer Strait continues to search without the consent of Eltra Parker signifies that there was another suspicion. But what was it? The prosecution has to prove this particular fact that there was another suspicion. However, the prosecution failed to prove that there was any other suspicion beside of the dangerous weapon. Section 50A, Article 1, Alphabet B states that it's only proper to conduct a frisk search if there was reasonable suspicion of an offense. During that particular time, Eltra Parker was suspected, I repeat, suspected to have a dangerous weapon. However, it was, in fact, a stress ball, a very harmless stress ball. Now, if this particular finding would cause some sort of offense to be caused, I would be very stumped to think, what would a stress ball entail? There was no reason for the officers to conduct a frisk search on Eltra Parker, yet they still continue to the third issue, which is the car search. The officers did not have any warrant nor the consent of Eltra Parker to search the vehicle. The prosecution has not proven there was a reasonable suspicion to conduct the vehicle search. Because let me remind you, Section 58, the Autonomous Police Powers and Responsibility, Section 1, Alphabet B, stated that reasonable grounds to suspect the commission of an offense is that the prosecution was supposed to prove there was reasonable grounds. There was no reasonable grounds on the Alphabet B stating for Officer Strait because the information that was received, and it was stated on the business record by Officer Strait herself, that the drugs was being moved during the night. Therefore, 11 a.m. is in the morning. Therefore, there was no reasonable grounds to conduct the car search because of the tip. The second is that the information did not specifically mention the make of the car, what exact time the delivery is going to be, and who will be driving. This, ladies and gentlemen, signifies that there was no reasonable grounds for the officers to conduct the frisk search and the car search. And the vehicle was not violating any laws. The fourth issue is that this package was opened without warrant, even though there was no reasonable suspicion regarding why the package was different. Section 58, Article 1, Alphabet B states that, Section 58, Article 1, Alphabet B states that it is only proper to conduct a search if there was reasonable suspicion, but the package was merely different than the others, simply because there was no name. It does not necessarily prove that it was suspicious, since it happens all the time. There will always be some suspicious package, but the thing is, the officers decided to open these packages without consent from Eltra Parker, nor the fact the actual owner of the property, which is PDP Enterprises. The package was found in a crate, as per the statement from Officer Narrow, that had the logo of PDP Enterprises. However, neither of the officers asked for a warrant to inspect the PDP crate. Therefore, there was no reasonable cause for the officers to conduct the search. The fourth issue, the last one, is the issue of the phone. Section 29, Article 6 allows the police officers to conduct a search with condition. If a phone is password protected, the officers need a warrant and or consent. Neither Eltra Parker nor the PDP Enterprises gave any sort of consent, or the officer did get any sort of warrant to search the phone. Officer Strait already stated in her statement in this court that she did not say anything regarding the phone when it was supposed to be asking, when she was supposed to be asking Eltra Parker if she could inspect the phone. However, what she did was that she asked Eltra Parker for the passcode and then say, you would have nothing to hide. And that is clearly a force to comply, which is against the Schedule 6 of the Constitution. So, ladies and gentlemen, in this case, the police officers has broken multiple laws regarding consent, warrant, detainment rights, and procedural laws. The checkpoint time was not there. Ziggy Bagman, someone who was not involved with the police officers, was able to walk around freely during the stop. The business record was also made 4 days after. There was no reason to delay this long to make a business record. These facts prove the lack of respect these officers of the law was given to the law itself. Whether or not for us to set a precedence that will eventually prevent an abuse of power, if we would like to set a precedence to give and admit these evidences, it would provide a precedence for the future police officers to eventually lead to an abuse of power. So, for these reasons, we humbly request the court that to set a very good precedence for the future and to make sure that the police officers always follow the law, no matter what the case. As one adagium has already said, fiat justitia ruat caelum, which means always keep the justice, whether if the sky has fallen upon you. That is all from me. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, thank you, the defense counsel. Otherwise, I will need to cut you short because the time was up. Okay, so Bruce, so I think perhaps there is no time for question, right? So Bruce, now we have about 5 minutes to collect the score sheet from.
We're gonna put you in a breakout room, judges in a breakout room. Okay.
Yep.
Then then we'll come back. We'll be in the breakout rooms. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Great.
Everybody stand up.